What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Yeah, I got my channel members in here. We good. Kenya B, Isaiah Felix, channel members. Salute. Oh, this is gonna be another one. It's gonna be a good one. I can shout to Surah. I can tell when I got the channel members in here with me. Bounce with me. Kenya. Y'all gonna bounce with me? Oh man, we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it in this one. Get the likes up. Let's get it cracking. Terence Crawford, Avanesyan. Listen. This topic is so multifaceted. This topic ruined the rest of the year for me. This Errol Spence Crawford fallout. Who agrees with me? Who agrees with me? The fallout for Errol Spence, Terence Crawford ruined the rest of the year. Not like in your personal life, but as far as boxing. The rest of the boxing year is toast. I mean, there might be a couple fights here and there, but even though I know the fight, it got to a point where the fight was only going to happen in 2023 in February, just knowing that they got it announced would have been good. You know what I mean? Because at least I know it's coming. And they might have, did a press tour or something in December or whatever. So it still would have worked. But with this done ruined the whole wave. And I'm a straight shooter. I'm gonna tell you what it is. You guys can believe whatever you want. I am placing the blame on Crawford's side. In my opinion, like, I'm not saying there's not little small nuanced things where Spence's team wanted this and Crawford's team. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the major effing issue. The reality is Terence Crawford, bad business bud, pulled the 42 fake out. You got all this way through negotiations only to reveal that you're tired of waiting or you want to tune up and you're doing something completely different, right? And some people have a trouble like understanding what I'm saying, but I promise in this stream, I will make it clear. The only reason you will not understand me is if you choose not to understand me. Because I know I speak clearly. This is an English speaking channel. So if you speak the common language in the United States of America, it should be very clear. Spence and his side was down. Steven Espinoza said that. I mean, I could keep playing the talk. I could keep showing you the clips. Their side, Steven Espinoza told you. He said Errol was ready to go. So in the 11th hour, you don't do something like that. Like, okay,
chop it up.
In this stream, I'm gonna say a lot of questions because I have a lot of questions. And I know the Bud Buddies, they're trying to overcomplicate this, but I got questions I'll be asking you guys, each one of y'all. You at home. Make sure y'all get the likes up. And you guys, the Bud Buddies are scrambling and trying and biting their nails. They know Boxing Ego is here. And they know what I'm saying makes sense. That's why they feel so pressed about it, right? For example, some of the questions. If Bud wanted a tune-up, why didn't he just say that? That's a question. Errol already been on record, and his resume and the way he went about coming back from Rex and detached retinas proves what he was saying. Because anybody could say anything. But Errol said it, and then he showed you. He said, nah, I don't want no tune-up. He said, tune-up, that just means you're uncertain. You ain't sure of yourself. Look at what he did. Bro, listen, hand over heart. Let's play swear to God, man. Let's play swear to God that Errol Spence didn't come from two potentially career-ending circumstances. The vicious car wreck, flipping the whip, hitting the asphalt, the cement, and a detached detached retina. Two potentially career-ending occurrences. And he came back to harder people than Crawford has ever fought. At welterweight, we'll say. the time in which Crawford fought every single person he fought, and the time in which Errol Spence came back from that and fought Danny Garcia, came back from that and fought Yordenis Ugas. Name somebody that Crawford has fought at welterweight that had a belt like Yordenis Ugas, and it was coming off a Pacquiao performance where he mopped up Pacquiao. See, again, if you don't understand me, you're choosing not to understand me. And that's okay, because I don't make videos for people like that. Listen, why would I make a video? Why would I make boxing content for people who, no matter how much I cook, no matter how much truth I speak, no matter how clear I speak, the examples I use, the evidence I show, you're not going to give me a fair shake anyway. That's like me trying to impress a racist or something. You know what I'm saying? If there's somebody's black and then the person's never going to give them like, let's say somebody's parents is racist, they're never going to want you to date their daughter. You see what I'm saying? You're a person of color. They just don't like you. It's not that you're a bad boyfriend. It's that they don't like blacks and they don't want a black person with their daughter. Then that's what it is. You feel me? So I don't do videos for people like that, because you was never going to be real with me anyway. Ego don't know what he talking about. Bro, that's somebody on a burner account. That's what it looked like. Because I ain't even said nothing radical. Yeah. Listen, tell all your friends Boxing Ego don't know what he talking about. Okay. As long as they keep paying and the fans keep watching, then I'll continue not knowing what I'm talking about. And for the rest that want to hear Boxing Ego not know what he's talking about, smash the like button. Scan the QR code. Here's another thing. Questions. I got questions. Because some people, like, boxing, I told you a long time ago, boxing is not equal. What I mean is, boxing's not equal. If Floyd's in there with Robert Guerrero, I'm not picking Robert Guerrero. Has nothing to do, I hate Robert Guerrero. He from Gilroy. He not that far from me. I'm not picking him. Because I'm not picking him I don't see him beating Floyd. And then I picked not Robert Guerrero, and then not Robert Guerrero won because Floyd whooped him. You see how that works? Boxing's not equal. People are like, oh, it's both people's fault. Both people don't have fights lined up. Errol Spence don't have no fight lined up. He was caught off guard. PBC, Showtime, Espinoza, they was caught off guard. People want to be, bro, boxing is getting soft. Listen, you fans, yes, you at home, y'all getting soft on me. Man, put me in the 80s. Put me in the 60s. Put me in the 70s, the 90s, I'll flourish. Early 2000s, I'll flourish. Boxing fans, y'all getting soft. You just accept anything and whatever people tell you, because we live in a social media age. Oh, yeah, I'm blaming both. I ain't. You can, but I'm not. Both people don't have fights. Both people don't have the next plan B and all that. What do you mean I'm blaming both? Y'all done went soft on me. And a lot of yous is fake. Here's why. A lot of y'all fake. Smash the like button if you not fake. Because I don't really do this for the fake ones. We got a $3 Cash App. This one comes from Glenn Contreras. He said, Max and others defending Crawford, shaking my head. They got an agenda. I ain't worried about Max Kellerman. He can't rap either. He can't, listen, I said it. Max Kellerman can't rap. I'll body Max Kellerman bar for bar. I rap. That's what I do. I rap. Put me and Max Kellerman on trial. I'll body him. Put me on a rap beat and Max Kellerman on beat. He's dead. It's over for him. So I ain't worried about no Max Kellerman. I'll kill the man on the track. But listen, I said you get maxed out like a credit card. You better stop. I'm the kid with the golden voice. I'm the kid with the most bars. Bro, he did that. I seen that music video. He looking like Remy from Higher Learning. You're nothing, man. You're a monkey. You're a monkey, man. Bro, he was looking like Skinhead. Bro, he looked like Remy from Higher Learning in that movie. He looked, rest in peace, John Singleton. He was rapping looking like Remy. You're nothing, man. You're a monkey, Malik. You're a monkey. 1995 coon. Bro, he looked like he say 1995 coon. He looked like he looked like Remy and Higher Learn, like he finna shoot Tyra Banks at any moment. I'ma kill you. You gonna die, bro. Where Omar Epps at? Where Omar Epps at? Max Kellerman, he wants some of this work. I used to hate on you, Ego, saying you was hating. I ain't reading the rest of that. Whatever. I'm gonna kill you. You gonna die, bro. You gonna die. Listen, let's do the Boxing Ego roll call. Get my likes up. City, state, zip. Let me know where you're from, and I'll keep going. City, state, zip, rep. Where you from? I need to know something. I need to know where my people at. So y'all, so I know where the work. Listen, I need to know where the work's going. We got work going out to Bompton, California, Hub City. We got work going out to 415 in Chicago. Listen, I need to know where I'm pitching the work. He gave you props, Ego. I ain't reading, but don't start like that. Give me props. Listen, if you're going to give me props, give me props. You don't have to, I used to hate you. Like, no. See, that's what I'm talking about. The boxing game done went faith. If don't give me no back-ended, half-hearted compliment. You talking about, I used to hate you. You don't start. Why you start like that? Just say you the man. You the best channel. You the greatest in the world. You don't have to say, I hate you. Why you have to say that? That's you hating. That's like, them is some fly kicks, but you ugly as hell. Like, what? Come on, bro. Them backhanded compliments. I don't need that. Listen, I don't need no backhanded compliments to make me a man, to give me confidence. I don't need that. You ugly as hell, but your shoes is nice. What? I'm the man. Listen, I'm the Mike Lowry of boxing. What y'all talking about? Hold on. We got Dallas 313, Columbia, South Carolina, Orlando, Florida, San Francisco 510. Yee. Bronx on deck, Baltimore. We got Tulsa, Oklahoma, 918-214, Rocktown, Kansas City, you feel me? Mississippi, you feel me? We got the Philippines, home of baby. I'm going to that Deporte. Atlanta, Chicago, Ego. Okay, y'all up in here. Chattanooga, Tennessee, Frisco, we worldwide. Metroplex, we got Dallas, Omaha, 402, Little Rock, 616. See, and this how I know I'm the GOAT. This how I know I'm the greatest when it comes to it, because no matter what they say, they don't prove me wrong. Listen, when it comes to this Crawford situation, when I say what I say, and I mean what I say, I explain why I feel that. You can hate the channel. Why they still watch? If you hate my channel, why you still watch me? Why you still watch me if I don't know nothing and I hate everybody and all this stuff and I'm goofy? Why watch me? But they still watching. The numbers just keep going up. The paycheck just keep going up. It's not adding up. So we know what it is. But here, peep this. When it comes to Crawford, the whole situation, the whole fallout, wompty, right? This is what I'm saying. How come the Bud buddies, the diehard man fan, the Crawford hardcore fans, why are they so angry? Listen, I got questions. If somebody can answer these questions to help the brother Ego out, let me know. Why is Crawford, his fans, his base, why are they so angry? If you say what you feel, they want to fight you, they want to spit on you, kick on you, call you names, throw you down a flight of stairs. Why are they so angry? Because let y'all tell it, Terence Crawford made the right move. David Avanesyan, let y'all tell it. David Avanesyan is an amazing, difficult fight, and he's on 6 knockouts in a row. He got black prime time blacks or whatever, right? He got that situation. They giving him 8 figures. He an 8-figure jigger. Bro, he making $10 million to fight what most people think is some easy work. But why are y'all angry then? He broke the matrix. He figured it out. People are like, babe. He's like, Bud is the independent hustler of the year. If you believe that, why are Crawford fans so angry? If Bud is the independent master P of this or whatever, y'all make him say, nah. Here I go. Shout to PC. More receipts. Bud said on the Porter podcast, Keith taking a tune-up means he isn't confident. So what you gonna do, man? Bro, Crawford and his team, they have all said so much that it becomes easier. But questions, that's the thing we working with. I got questions. Why, let's have an adult conversation. You an adult, I'm an adult, have an adult conversation, not name calling, yelling, and all this other extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford fans, they want to show how tough and street they are when you ask a question like, hey, how come Bud fought this guy? Man, I kill you. Like, what? What? Come on, bro. Y'all got to do better. But that's what I'm saying. Why are Crawford fans seemingly so angry? If they saying, oh, David Avanesyan, he's a good opponent. He was tired of waiting. David Avanesyan got 6 KOs in a row. I mean, anybody can have 6 KOs in a row depending on who they fought, right? Is that what we working with? So you could just KO six people that know. I'll say 5 because I knew who Josh Kelly was. You can knock out 5 randos, and then, but he's on 6 knockouts in a row. Mike Tyson fought 19 people in 1 year. His first year he turned pro, he fought like 19 people. He fought 19 people and knocked them all out. The boy Mike Tyson, I'm from the Catskill. I'm from Brownfield. I got like 19 fights. I've been fighting. I've been real active. I've been real busy. Cuz told me I gotta stay on it. Stay on the treadmill. He said I'm special. One day I'm gonna be a champ. Right? Mike fought like 19 times in a year. And he knocked majority of them dudes out. So again, why are Bud fans so angry? They're like, oh, I'm gonna get you, sucker, and all this other stuff. Why y'all so angry? He get $10 million to fight at home. Like, life should be good. But they know the prodigal son has returned. They know this is not adding up. They know the optics. They know the optics of this. They said the impressions is straight gold. I told you, I really do. I'm the king of boxing. I'm the king of this boxing. Smash the like button. Get my likes up. Y'all say y'all like it. Smash the like button for the boy. Why are they so angry, seemingly angry? Because they know this is not a good look. They know the prodigal son has returned. They know this is not what they wanted. Listen, this is how I know it's all cap. Because you hear Terence Crawford, the Bud buddies, right? And they like, oh, they trying to hype up David Avanesyan. And you ask them a simple question. Do you want to see the Avanesyan fight? Like, that's the fight you would have picked. And the answer is always no. So don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. Listen, this is what I'm talking about. I'm going to slice y'all up real Ginsu. I'm Ginsu sharp. I am a grown man. I ask grown man straight, direct questions. Are you in love with the fight that has been chosen? Not, oh, Buzz, my boy, I want to support my boy. None of that. Do you love the Avanesyan fight? Are you mad that the Errol Spence fight? And we know the answer to him. And all that other stuff is just jibber jabber. I don't care what you talking about. You know you would prefer the fight. Bud fans, they keep saying, oh, I really wanted to see Errol versus Bud, but I'll settle for David Avanesyan. Bro, who the hell is David Avanesyan or whatever his name is? Bro, no one can even say his name. Bob Arum, he just did an interview today with Fight Hype. Bob Arum did an interview with Fight Hype, and he was like, oh, David Ava what? Bro, he didn't even know. He didn't even know what his name was. He said Ava something. The boy Bob Arum didn't even know how to pronounce his name. He was sounding like he from Baltimore. He was like, Avenue, David Avenue on the Avenue. Y'all know this fight is not what y'all wanted. Y'all know this ain't what y'all wanted. But y'all trying to play with me. Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. And here's the thing. The Bud buddies, they saying he getting 8 figures. They say, oh, BOXINGEGO. But Bud Crawford, he getting 8 figures. Whoop-de-do. He ain't gonna buy me a cheeseburger with it. Okay. I'm a boxing fan. What another man pockets got to do with me? I'm glad he got bagged up. Great. That's what's up. I'm happy for you. Take care of your family, save some money, invest. Amazing. But I'm a boxing fan. I ain't never worried about a man pockets like that. The only time I even talk about like a person fighter pay is for y'all. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this sport. Yeah, I cover the sport and all that, but I'm a fan. Like, what you mean he getting 8 figures? Like we all split it. Like I can understand if you buzz children because they like, oh, Christmas is gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? Because Papa got that bag. That's amazing. But what that got to do with me? You know what I mean? For real, for real. I want to see him in Arrow. Like, see, y'all talking about him making money, and I'm trying to have them take my money. They could have took my money for Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. And y'all and the Bud Buddies, they're like, oh, but he's getting 8 figures. Come on. Come on. You would do it too. What'd they say? They say, BOXINGEGO, you would do it too. You don't know me. You don't know what I'm liable to do. Don't say that. You don't know what I'll do. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to destroy y'all. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Because here's the thing. It's all about how you go about stuff. If you a little child and you broke your mama vase and you came clean about it, you said, hey, mama, while you was at bingo, I broke the vase. I broke the vase, mama. I cleaned it up with a broom. You feel me? I cleaned up with a broom and a dustpan while you was at bingo tonight, mama. I'm sorry. I'm going to save my allowance and buy you a new vase. That's coming clean. That's coming clean. But if your mama went to bingo and she come back and there's shattered glass all on the ground, you left it. The vase hit the ground and you left the broken vase on the ground. And then you went up to your room and start playing video games. And then your mama get back from bingo and there's a broken glass. What did Puffy say? Broken glass everywhere. If it ain't about the money, Papa just don't care. I'm the young fella fly guy. Sometime I spend time at HEWA. Mace, could you please stop smoking la la? Puff, why try? I'm a thug. I'm a die. I'll be out in Jersey. Puff and Hershey. Brothers ain't worthy. What did he say? Broken glass everywhere. Your mama get back in this Bad Boy Records. It's Mason and Diddy. Can't hold me down. I know. I got to keep. And it's just a broken vase on the ground, right? And you went up to your room to play video games. And then she boom, 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 knock on your door. What happened to my favorite vase downstairs? I don't know. And then your brother snitch on you later on and reveal that it was you. Your mom you finna be grounded. Or if people still discipline their kids, that's gonna happen. You dig? Because it's not just the vase is broken. You can replace like property. It's how you went about it. You really left the broken glass on the ground, and after it shattered, knowing you did it, you was playing football in the house. You was wrestling in the house. You did this. And you left it broken on the ground. You didn't even try to sweep it up. And then leave your mom a sorry note because you was going to bed, or, come clean and tell her. So it's how you went about it. So when it comes to this story, Tucker said it sounded like a personal experience. Nah, that ain't never happened to me because I ain't no liar. I'm just great at my job. That's an analogy. That ain't never happened to me. I never did that. I'm just so detailed with mine because I'm the greatest. Nah, that's not a true story or anything. I'm good at what I do. That's an analogy just so you guys can picture it. Can you picture it? Tilt your head to the side so y'all could get a clear picture and picture me rolling. That was an analogy off the top of the dome. No cue cards, no flashcards, no notes. I'm born for this. I'm gifted for these moments. Smash the like button. Let's go. So the end result's the same. The vase is broken, but the approach and how you went about revealing it, or how your mom had to discover it because you didn't reveal it, that's different. Look at how Bud Crawford went about this, bro. You could have took a tune-up. You said you've been in negotiations since June. Why not take a tune-up before that? Why, like, ain't nobody asking the questions. Bro, this is Bud Crawford's own word. See, y'all don't ask the real questions. I told you, I got a lot of questions this episode. I got a lot of questions. I got a lot of questions. So, Pete, according to Bud, he said we've been in negotiations since June. Your last fight was in November of last year, 2021, Sean Porter. Fake stoppage by Kenny Porter, right? So why did you not fight? Okay, December, that's not realistic because you just fought in November. Cool. Why didn't you fight January, February, March, April? You're a free agent. You were a free agent. So you couldn't fight in December because you just had came off a November bout with Porter on pay-per-view. You need a rest and it's the holidays. Okay. January, February, March, April, May, June. You had 6 months. Bro, y'all don't ask the questions. Y'all don't pay attention. You had 6 months to even get to June. That's the 6th month of the year. So you, by your own admission, did an interview with ESPN and Bud said they held me up. How did they hold you up? If you wanted a tune-up, you could have took it in the first 6 months and then been in negotiations in the back half of the year with PBC. You could have fought Avanesyan January, February, March, April, May, June. Like you did, you said, so you at least had 5 months. Because I'll give them, this is a cushion. This is a little cushion. Because you said you started in June. Okay, so you have 5 months. You could have fought Rudy Poo Butt in one of them 5 months. If you felt like, oh, I'm about to fight Arrow, most likely next. Let me burn this out. Let me get this out so I don't have no ring rust. What was Bud doing? Taking picture with Jay-Z, scoring buckets on a celebrity game, you know, playing Call of Duty, you know, just regular Bud stuff. You beating up Trey Songz. Bro, you going to beat up Trey Songz, but you say you beat up Errol Spence, but then we don't get to see it. Bro, he done fought Trey Songz before he fought Errol Spence. Ain't that something? Trey Songz was like, yup. Yup. Tuna. Sally. Which one of y'all? Bro, Crawford he must have hit Trey so hard. And Trey was like, which one of y'all? Your side of the band. Which side? Red bean and rye in the bed. Which one of y'all? Bro, you done fought Trey before Earl. Ugh. Give my likes up. You with Hove. You taking pictures with Hove, fight, beating up R&B singers. Yup. Which one of y'all? Your son on the band. Red bean and rhyme. No, he traveled. Double dribble. That's a foul. I can't sing, but y'all get it. My man said all this to fight David Avocado. All this to fight David Avocado. Facts. The super fruit. You fighting the super fruit, David Avocado. Why I gotta stop? For being real? Okay. You fighting David Antihistamine. Bro, listen. These cherry picks is missing me. You wasted a whole 6 months and then 6 more just to fight David Antihistamine. What? Yo, bro, Bud got 2 fights this year. Trey Songz and Antihistamine. By the end of the year. So it's really how he went about it, man. It's really how he went about it. Like it's the ultimate, you know what I mean? It's the ultimate letdown. You fighting Antihistamine on the Black Planet. David Avatar. Directed by James Cameron. Bro, it's and then people have the nerve to blame Errol. Oh, it's Errol's fault. Errol did it all. Bro, Errol don't got a damn fight. What you talking about? Errol left high and dry. How is his fault? How's it his fault? Errol's not fighting David Evian Water or whatever his name is. Let me work. I told you. And see, listen, the Crawford fans, they seething right now. This guy sucks. You stink. Hate your channel. Bro, I'm asking questions and having real life contextual conversation. See, listen, when I spit to you, it be real stuff, substance, contextual. These dudes, a bunch of immature jokers talking about you Earl sexuals. Listen, oh my God, that's a bar. Listen, y'all talk like vegetables. When I give you facts, I kick with actual contextuals. These dudes, a bunch of jokers, immature, talking about you aerosexual. Bro, what the hell does that even mean? See, and people rip that because it's my fault because I came up with the lomosexual, but I did that because it had that ring to it. It was a play off words. Aerosexual just sounds stupid, bro. I'm hearing tank sexual. I mean, that just sounds stupid. You only get half a bar. That just sounds stupid. Fuck y'all. That just sounds stupid. But anyway, I just feel like fans' time has been wasted. I got a killer video that's going to really destroy. It'll be up tonight. After this stream, it'll be up. So check the world premiere. I promise you. You guys, y'all listen. Y'all want a little sneak peek? Get the likes to 250. I'll give you a sneak peek. I promise you, I'm about to body. Listen, I wanted more boxing, and I told you I was going to close the year strong, but we still are, even though we're not getting the big time fights that we wanted right now. If y'all want a sneak peek, get the likes to 250 and say sneak peek. I need everyone to type the word sneak peek and get the likes to 250. Y'all not gonna like this. When I body y'all again, listen, y'all about to feel this one. Hey, get the likes closer to 300. Y'all want the sneak peek? I got y'all. Get the likes closer to 300. I'm gonna get y'all what y'all want. Because listen, like I said earlier in this stream, don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. See, the questions I'm asking, you know they ain't absurd. The questions, every single question I've asked about this whole ordeal with Crawford and how it went about and things that look fishy and things that kind of seemed off, you know they real. But see, that's the thing. That's how you know I'm the realest out. I got the realest chat, the realest facts. I'm the realest cat because I'm the one with the integrity to ask it. See, this is the thing. When DAZN moved with Canelo and it looked fishy and Canelo was fighting less than competition, like the Avanesyan and stuff like that, myself, I gave it to Canelo. I was like, nah, Canelo, I don't care how much you're making. I don't care. I'm a boxing fan. I don't care you getting a good paycheck to fight Avanesyan. And we demolished Canelo. We got at DAZN for that. But now all of a sudden, some of the same people that torched Canelo for making money and taking the opportunity, but also not taking the big fight that they want, now quiet as church mice. Quiet as church mice. So you tell me where's the justice in that? You tell me how that's fair. How is that fair that when DAZN put out a fight that is like we're not feeling, don't matter what the fighter's getting paid, like Canelo Yildirim, that's the one that keep coming to mind, or even Canelo Golovkin 3. Like these, I wasn't a fan of none of them fights, none of them. I was like Canelo 3 on pay-per-view, Golovkin not looking the same. Woom, woom, woom. I spoke my mind, but guess what? When Bud does it with David Avanesyan, with David Avocado, I'm still saying the same thing. But I'm seeing the energy is switching in boxing. A lot of y'all switch hitting like Bud. Y'all, I see the Bud buddies is just like Bud is ambidextrous, y'all ambidextrous because you switch hitters. When it's someone you don't care about or a fighter you don't like, you have a certain set of rules. And that part is clear because Canelo DAZN, they got the business. When he was fighting some bull, when Rocky Fielding, Canelo versus, they fighting Avanesyan Yildirim. We laughed at these fights. We We torched these fights. We, you know what I mean? We tore them down. But Bud is a great fighter. But I'm not supposed to tear it down. So what does that say about me? What does that say about my integrity if I only went after Canelo? If I only said, hey, Canelo, what you doing is wrong. We don't want this. We want you to fight Charlo, Andre, somebody, Morrell, my boy David Benavidez. If I said these things that I said in real time, I said these things to you. And then now I see Bud, his whole welterweight run has been a tune-up. His whole welterweight run, he a great fighter. He a great fighter. His whole run at welterweight has been a tune-up. And we stuck with it like, all right, Bud, let's get it. His whole run has been a tune-up. And then the same people, they don't have the same energy. You can't tell me I'm not the realest. So my thing is this. You know, Canelo got a bag when he fought Yildirim. All them DAZN fights, he was getting a bag. All them fights, he was getting a bag. But somehow, some way, the fans didn't care. They didn't care, oh, Canelo's getting 40 to fight Golovkin, 40 to fight Yildirim. They didn't care. They just knew the fight was doo-doo, right? They knew the fight was doo-doo and they on it. Bud getting the bag, I'm happy. But now people trying to spin it like, oh, you hating on Bud's paycheck. He getting 8 figures. Okay, well, guess what? Canelo made more money than that. He getting 9 figures and the fight was still trash. And I still said that to Canelo fight. And Bud is not as big as Canelo. So what are we talking about? And like real talk, as much as I didn't like personally the Golovkin 3 fight, Golovkin only lost on 1 month on paper, and that was to Canelo. And some people thought he shouldn't even have won that fight. And Golovkin is more accomplished. Like we know how he got spoon fed and all. I'm not even gonna get into all that. But he got to a point where he started having accomplished names like Jacobs, Canelo, Derevyanchenko. Thought he lost that fight, yada yada yada. But he still. Bro, he better than Avanesyan. Let's just he done more. He's harder to beat in general than David Avanesyan. He never been knocked out. David Avanesyan has by a mean machine. Ain't no mean machine type dude knocked Golovkin out. He's never been knocked down. And I still didn't like that fight, but I told y'all that. But a lot of y'all don't care now because it's Bud Crawford doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen it all. Some people, they're like, oh, you're mad because a brother's getting money. Man, stop. I don't care how much money he's getting. That's great. I hope he spends it well and invests. And they don't have nothing to do with that. I don't care about another man's bag unless we splitting it. What that got to do with me? And again, my thing is this. You didn't bring up Canelo 9 figures. You just knew the fights he was doing wasn't what you wanted as a boxing fan. You know this Avanesyan fight is not what you want, but then you know, people are trying to front and like pass it off. So my thing is this, that's cool. If that's your character and that's what you want to do, you want to act like, you know, it's like, let's say somebody get in your whip and they like, let me hide this dope in here. The cops is looking for me. They won't suspect it on you. Some people might ride with that and be in the whip and then let you knowingly have dope on you and then hide it in their trunk. There's some people that got integrity and they're honest and they don't want no parts of that. That they don't sell drugs. That's not their lane. They don't want the dope in their whip. They don't want nothing to do with that. They don't want nothing to do with that. Like if you a fugitive, like on America's Most Wanted, some people would let you camp out and stay in their guest room. Some people, you a fugitive, dog. You can't stay here, bro. That's harboring a fugitive. I got kids. I'll mess around and go down because of crime you did because I'm abating and, you know, harboring a fugitive. So you have to understand there's different levels of people's integrity, and some people have the ability to just show it at all times. And, you know, it's nothing personal against Bud or I got a vendetta against Bud, but I wouldn't be right if I didn't give Bud the same treatment, you know, when he does fights, especially under the circumstances when Errol Spence is what we wanted. You know what I mean? It just wouldn't be the same and it wouldn't be right. But I notice a lot of people are trying to settle for the fight. You know, it's like you go to somebody's house and they cook you some food and you know it's too salty. You know the food is nasty. People saying I'm not the realest because I'm like, get a napkin. I'm like, I can't eat this. It's too salty. I mean, you could say I'm rude, but I'm just being real. You done put way too much salt in the food, or the food is not good. Like the chicken ain't cooked. I'm not listen, if I go to your spot and you cook me some chicken and it still look pink and the veins still in it, you didn't cook the poultry I'm not eating it. I'm not going to just eat what you serve me so I don't offend you. And if you ever want that from my channel, then unsubscribe now, because you're not going to get it. I'm not going to not give my honest opinion and eat the unseasoned, uncooked chicken because I don't want to offend the cook. Y'all eat the unseasoned chicken. Bud Crawford and Avanesyan, to me, is unseasoned chicken. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hyped about it. Will I watch it? I don't know. But I'm definitely not moved by it. You eat the undercooked chicken and get salmonella. How about that? Oh, you're tripping. I'm tripping because I don't want to get salmonella. Bud gonna mess around, give me salmonella watching these fights, all these tune-ups. And then y'all say I'm the one that's not keeping it real. And you say I'm the one that's tripping because I'm gonna get salmonella because he's cooking these undercooked fights that nobody want. All right, I'll take that. I'll wear that scarlet letter. Yeah, you better give me that rotisserie. But that's what I'm saying. Boxing has gone soft on me. It's gone soft. You can't have no opinion. You got an opinion, somebody, they mad and they hate you or you're biased. You know what I'm saying? You can't have no opinion no more. But I mean, if that's what you want from me, then I don't know what to tell you, because I came in the game the same way and it was never a problem. All the support that I've given Bud, that all the fights I went to, nobody called me no Bud hater. Nobody. When I was in Omaha, when I went to Lincoln, I had to rent a car unexpectedly because they did half of the fight week in Omaha. And then the Indongo fight itself was in Lincoln. And I don't know nothing about Nebraska. And I didn't know it was like over an hour away because I was just Ubering around. But then I found out the main night, the Saturday, I had to go to rent a car and rent a second hotel. Bro, see, that's what I'm saying. Y'all can't tell me nothing, bro. I just thought of that. So peep this. I flew to Omaha. This all checks out. Ass top rank. I got credentialed for the fight. I flew to Omaha. I didn't pay close attention to the fight week festivities, nor do I know Nebraska. I had a hotel in Omaha. So I flew in, flight. I got to pay money for a flight. You feel me? Flew in, Bud's gym, the B&B gym or whatever, right? The B&B gym. I went to that. All of the fight week stuff was in Omaha. The actual fight on Saturday with Indongo was in Lincoln. And unbeknownst to me, that was an hour away. So I had to rent a car when I had just been Ubering. So I did Ubers, rented a car, and then I had to get a second hotel. Cause I had a hotel. Listen, y'all not feeling me. I had a hotel in Omaha. And then I had to go an hour away. So I had to get a second hotel. So this is the money I'm burning. I'm burning like BMF to cover Bud's fights. And not one of you suckers was like, oh, you hate Bud and all this other extra stuff. It was only when his resume, it's all the same kind of level of people. And then I said it and I spoke my piece and I spoke my mind and I meant it. And then now it's like, oh, you dislike Bud. I've never said Bud can't fight. I never said he's not an amazing fighter. The only thing I've ever questioned is his business attitude and his business acumen. Shout out to Niter, $5. Yo, Ego, Tim Bradley need to explain because how Bud was begging for the big fights, but running from legit competition. I mean, I don't know. But y'all want to get the sneak peek? I told you I got a sneak peek for y'all. If y'all want the sneak peek, everybody say sneak peek. And then you can't wonder and question after I start showing you these things and I'm about to do a video. The video will be released later on tonight after this stream, and you'll understand my standpoint. Everybody type sneak peek. In the meantime, we got $5 Cash App. Okay.
The money goes into my piggy.
This is from DK. He says, Bud, his own fans can't explain how this isn't a duck. We got a $10 Cash App. Let's go. William Johnson says, bro, you got me and my wifey cracking up. Thanks. Shout out to William and your wifey. That's what I'm here for. Get the likes up. All right, here's a sneak peek. Because I know some people, they're like, I'm blaming both. I'm not. And I've went over this. You blame both and all that extra stuff. Oh, it's blaming both. Bro, listen before I do the sneak peek, listen to this carefully. I've broken down the boxing business. PBC has worked with Errol Spence. They have all of his metrics. They know his pay-per-view sales. They know how many tickets he sold. They know all of those things because he has seniority. He's been integrated in the PBC system since the beginning. Remember, Errol said, my dad told me to get with Al. And he got with Al. He wanted Top Rank, wanted him. All the people wanted him. Get the likes up. And he went with Al. So they know all of his numbers. This is how the game works. I'm trying to tell y'all. They know all of his numbers. They know his success rate. So when they combine him with the Crawford, they know he's getting the lion's share of money because he's the A side. This is how it works. He's done better gates for sure. He's done bigger fights for sure. He's done better pay-per-view numbers for sure. That's how it works. So we'll take it, Crawford and Errol out the equation. Deontay Wilder, Charles Martin. Wilder has more fans, more fanfare, done better numbers than Charles Martin. Therefore, they will give Wilder more money for a Hellenius than if Charles Martin fought a Hellenius. That's how the business works. Why would they not? When Wilder's a big superstar and he's a knockout artist and Charles Martin's a good fighter, but he's not going to bring the same attention that a Robert Hellenius fight as Charles Martin. It's common sense. Anybody believe that Wilder in 2 fights with Ortiz made less money than when Charles Martin fought Luis Ortiz? That's not how it works. So now let's get back to Crawford and Bud. I mean, Crawford and somebody said that on my page. That's what made me think of it. Errol and Bud. Errol has done all of the better numbers. All of the better numbers. Therefore, he's entitled, and he has seniority with the company, PBC. Crawford, in my opinion, believes he's being dicked around because they can't offer him a massive guarantee. The reason he can't get the massive guarantee is because what Bob Arum said. Bob Arum threw you under the bus. Bob Arum said, all your numbers are trash, and I lose money on every fight. So although there's some wiggle room to negotiate, it's going to get to a salary cap in terms of an upfront guarantee to the point where they're going to be like, we can't really go up because then we start cutting into the profits and we can't all eat. And there's a higher, it's all about probability. The more you overpay a fighter, the more likely you are to not recoup your money. So if Bud, between Errol and all the other expenses and undercard and lights and venue rentals and all this stuff, if the main event is commanding too much money, then guess what? PBC, they don't do bad. They like, you don't see PBC, like the guys that are getting paid the best are the superstars on PBC. It's not DAZN where they're going to give Golovkin 30 million and Canelo 40 million, knowing they're not going to generate the amount of pay-per-views necessary to recoup and make that make sense. Or even worse, because at least Golovkin has a profile. Man, y'all gotta get the likes up. Y'all gotta get the likes up. Here's another example. Worst examples would be Yildirim. If you pay Canelo $30, $40 million or something crazy to fight Yildirim, we don't want those fights. So you're already 40 million in the hole because there's no way you're going to get that on the live gate or DAZN. They didn't even have pay-per-view then. Remember? They weren't on a. Why do you think they went to pay-per-view? Why do you think they went to pay-per-view? Because it doesn't make sense, like I told you from the beginning. So in the case of Crawford, because I'm trying to keep this so you guys can understand the business. In the case of Crawford, the bottom line is he probably wants too much of the guarantee. The other thing is, I believe that Terence Crawford is so conditioned from Top Rank and what he knows from last time that his fights didn't cook. Bob Arum told you this. This is not my opinion. The numbers showed you this, and Bob Arum told you this. He doesn't generate big pay-per-view box office returns in the viewership. Hell of a fighter, but he's not doing that, right? So as a result, Bud, this is my opinion. I believe Bud Crawford, he has like a throwback mentality that we're not in the Sugar Ray Robinson era, because he always keeps talking about, oh, I moved up in more weight classes than Errol. None of that matters. None of that matters. Errol is bigger than you. So if you don't let go of your pride and you don't have the sales history tracking the numbers to get the number that you want, it's never going to happen, bro. There's a old, rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. There's an old Nipsey Hussle interview. He said he spoke with 50 Cent the rapper and 50 gamed him up. 50 said, don't release an album, do all mixtapes to get your buzz up. And I know some of you guys, because you watch hip hop, you've seen it. And then Nip was like, well, what we doing that for? You know what I'm saying? And he said 50 explained to him the reason you do that is because once you drop an official album, your sales are tracked. DJ Academics does this all the time. He'll be like, Lil Baby sold 221,000 the first week. That's sales tracking. So they're tracking your sales the moment you have an official album. But if you do like G Unit and you're dropping hella mixtapes and getting hot in New York back in the day, then guess what? You killing the streets and everybody's playing your stuff. So by the time you drop an album or go to negotiate with the labels at the time, you can say, we killing the streets with all our music. Look at these impressions on YouTube. Look at our Spotify plays. And you don't have an actual sales history that's weighing you down, because that can be used against you. In the case of Terence Crawford, his sales tracking is holding him down. Doing a fight with Porter and doing 135,000. Errol Spence fought a champion Porter and he didn't do 135,000. I was there. Plus it was at the Staples Center and there were 16,000 people there. Errol tracks higher sales. It's that simple. So if Bud doesn't come off of his number, then he has to do what he did, which is not get the Errol Spence fight or take a concession and like agree to a lower number in the first fight, whoop Errol, and then have more star power and command and leverage in the second. But Bud, who seems kind of like hood-minded, is entering the negotiations not used to having made a lot of pay-per-view back-end money, because his sales with Top Rank is trash. That's why his team keep talking about, 35% of what? 35, how much are we getting? Blah, blah, blah. Bro, everybody and their mama want to see Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fight on pay-per-view. I think people will pay for it, and I hope people, because it's that good of a fight. So they can't tell you that all you get is a percentage. They can't tell you, it's going to do this and this. But you could do the math yourself. Do your best. And here's what you can do. As a fighter, you could do what Tank and Ryan Garcia would definitely do if they fight, which is sell the fight, promote the fight, talk a little trash, post on Instagram and go live and say, I can't wait. I'm going to beat Errol Spence, boo, 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 and be on the speed bag. And people like, So you can do things to enhance the viability of a fight. Bud, his last promoter told you he doesn't want to promote. So there's a problem. And that's another problem. Why would PBC want to keep up in the guarantee? You're not Canelo. You don't have this like big past sales history of million plus buys and 2.4 million with Floyd. You don't have the country of Mexico. You don't have like a whole country. Omaha's not even a big state. California bigger than Omaha. Bro, Omaha, let me look. I'll look right now. I guarantee you, Omaha, San Diego bigger than Omaha. Play with it if you want to. Omaha population. Google. 487,000 last year. So the estimated population for Omaha, oh my, see, I'm bodying y'all, bro. LA and San Diego bigger than that. I live in Cali. I live in the Bay. I live up north, and I could tell you that San Diego and LA is bigger than that. I ain't even looked it up. But I could tell you because I'm from Cali, cuh. Look, I told you. Look, I just looked it up. I'm from Cali, though. Omaha, you see that? 487. You see it. San Diego, 1.382 million. So you don't even come from a big state, bro. Like, so if everybody in Omaha, like, I'm killing y'all. Errol Spence is from Texas. Texas is a sports state. The population for Texas, let me pull it up. Errol comes from a big state. So I'm not saying the whole state of Texas is going to support Errol Spence, but they got a lot of in Texas. So he has a greater chance. Bud doesn't even have 1 million people where he's from in Omaha. This is Texas. 29.53. And then, okay, so let's take it out of Omaha and to be fair, I'll put Nebraska. Or as Black Prime says, Neb. Cause I went to Omaha specifically. So I'll type in the whole state of Nebraska, right? We'll take the whole state of Nebraska, bro. Because that's not a fair comparison to say Omaha. But it is when I said San Diego, because San Diego is a city. And San Diego had 1 million in San Diego. This is Omaha. This is Nebraska. This is the whole population of Nebraska. 1.9. San Diego had 1.3 just in San Diego. And then I just showed you. In LA, look, that's just in San Diego. And in LA, that's Omaha. That's way too. LA that's Texas, 29. Y'all get the point. So you don't even come from a state big enough. Like if everybody in your state watched you and ordered your pay-per-view, it still doesn't add up to because you know how like a lot of times people for these big fights, you got your state representing you. It's kind of like the Olympics. Bro, Errol comes from a state with 29 million, 30 million people. Bud come from a state with 1.9 million people. The whole state of Nebraska, I've been there. Like, this is how I know, too, because when I was in Nebraska, everything was closed by like 8 p.m. or very early. I don't know the exact time. But you can't get no good food on a Monday night at 9 p.m. because I was in my hotel starving. Bro, I went to Bud. I'm just being real. Covering Bud's fight, you had the boy ego starved out because I made a mistake. I had a little bit of jet lag and I went to bed and took a nap. I woke up and it was like 9 p.m. And then I was like, man, let me get some Uber Eats. Everything was closed. Everything. Like, you know, like you come out to Cali, you can go to Jack in the Crack, you can go to In-N-Out till 1 p.m. at night. So I'm expecting stuff like that. You can go to Denny's and Nations. That's 24 hours. Like we got some options. I go to New York to cover a fight. You can get food. You can go to all Junior or whatever. You can go somewhere. I forgot the place. They be having like chili dogs and all types of stuff. Go to Omaha. You gonna starve, bro. If you don't eat by a certain time, it's over. I think I end up having to go to like a Walmart type of store and making like a cup of noodle. Bro, Bud had me on some MacGyver stuff. Because everything was closed, covering Bud's fight. Bro, I lost weight Listen, I felt like I was the fighter. Because Bud, being in Omaha, I had lost weight. Because I was starving because everything was closed. The food places was closed too late. Or if it was too late. You go to Texas, you get food anytime. That's what happens when you're in a bigger state, bigger city. Bro, Bud had me making weight. I'm about to step on the scale. That's all I'm saying. So Bud has to be realistic with the negotiations, but I don't think he is. I think he thinks the value of him as a fighter is his value as a brand and commodity a chip negotiate. That's not how it works, bro. Like, okay, I'm giving you guys as much free game. It's insane. Like, people that even try to argue this stuff. Please get the likes up. YouTube came out with this thing, right? YouTube got this thing now where you can take your channel and it assesses your analytics and impressions, so you can send a snapshot to other brands to show how. Instagram got this too. So you can show people to negotiate your business on Instagram. If you have a business Instagram account, if you have a YouTube and it's your business, you can get these snapshots of your impressions. So when you come to the table and say Manscaped or something, and you want to do a brand deal, they see how many viewers and views you're pulling in routinely, or in a month or in a week, those impressions. So a channel like mine, I eat. I got my audience retention is stupid. My CPM is stupid. I've been on the platform for a while. I got millions of views. Millions. I got singular videos that hit a mil. There's a lot of your YouTubers that you like. They never had a video that hit a mil yet. I'm showing you the levels. There's YouTubers that y'all like right now, but they don't have one video that hit a mil. Like a single. I got single videos that hit over a mil. This is how it works. So if I have a snapshot and I'm negotiating a brand deal, what you think? You think I can negotiate a better brand deal with higher and better impressions, or a channel with lower impressions, right? And they got 20,000 subscribers and everything else is lower. I mean, this is just common sense. This is Bud Crawford. This is Bud Crawford. PBC got all Arrow's numbers. All your numbers are lower. So your market value is lower. Don't matter how good of a fighter you are, your market value is lower. That's the reason Ryan Garcia and Tank might fight next. It's not that Ryan is better than Teofimo. He ain't never fought him. It's not that Ryan can whoop Frank Martin. It's because he's a brand. It's like common sense, man. Ryan Garcia, that's now you guys understand the business of boxing. That's the reason Jake Paul's headlining a card this weekend. He's a brand. He's a brand. And I got a letter saying they sold out that venue, or not sold out, but had the most attendance or something. I don't know. I ain't read it all to quote me on that. He's a brand. That's how this stuff works. That's how business works. But if Bud thinks all he could do is just whoop you. Oh, Bud, in my mind, Bud's mentality is this. Bud's mentality is this. Oh, but I stop everyone at welterweight. That's true. That's not going to get you more money necessarily, unless it's like Wilder, because Wilder's different. Because Wilder, his knockouts are just too crazy. So I would say Wilder is like one of those dude, he can negotiate because his knockouts all go viral. You know what I'm saying? But that's not necessarily going to get you more money, especially given the competition. You see? Let me take a water break and I'm right back on it. If y'all want to sneak peek to my video that's coming out where I really break down, I got so much heat coming. Everybody type sneak peek. I'm going to take a quick water break. Bud has a hamster running in his brain. Wow. Bob Arum gave you the game, bro. People keep saying, oh, PBC, they don't have the money for Bud. Bro, you mean to tell me they just had a fight with Canelo in November, gave Canelo $40 million guaranteed, but they don't have the money for Bud? That doesn't make sense. They gave Canelo $40 million. It did a great live gate with Caleb Plant. They had all accesses and shows that they probably had ads and running ads and commercials, paid, sponsored, blah, blah, blah. And it did 800,000 pay-per-views. And You maniacs is talking about they don't have the money. No, it's not that they don't have the money. They don't have the money Bud wants, given his stock, his value. Like okay, here's an example. I go to, me and my family and myself in general, we used to go to the flea market, right? You go to, like, when I went to Mexico, we would go to the flea market, right? And they'd be like, camiseta. So they got these shirts and different things at the flea market, right? And then you say, how much for the shirt? How much for the shirt? And they talking about $35. You're at a flea market. You have a wad of cash, because when you usually go to these events, a lot of people deal in cash. Not everything is set up at yard sales and flea markets for swipes. And I mean, back in the day, I can't really say if people got squares and, you know what I'm saying, Apple Pay and all that now, but I'm talking about back in the day where all that stuff wasn't popular. Back in the day, you had cash when you were at those type of spots, flea markets, yard sales, right? Everyone didn't have Apple Pay and that type of stuff. So you have a wad of cash and you say, how much for the shirt? How much for the shirt? Camiseta. How much for the shirt? $35. It's not that you don't have $35. It's that you don't have $35 for that shirt. That's what these Bud buddies don't get. That's what you guys aren't understanding. Oh, PPC they ran out of money. They don't have money. No, they didn't run out of money and don't have money. If the shirt is $35 and it's cool, you'll buy the shirt, but not for $35, you're not buying the shirt. You get it? This is simple business and commerce. Simple arithmetic. So it's not, oh, you must be broke then. You're broke. You lost your job because you can't afford my shirt. It's not that I can't afford my shirt or your shirt. It's that I won't afford your shirt because I'm not paying $35 for that shirt. And it's a picture of Bart Simpson and he black. Bro, that's not even like licensed material. Bart Simpson wasn't black on the cartoon. Bro, you know, you go to the flea market, they got all types of stuff. It'd be like Bart Simpson, he be black. Bro, I'm not paying you $35 for the nigga Bart. I'm sorry. You want $35 for the nigga Bart. And he black he burnt to a crisp. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not that I don't have bro, I get $35 cash apps. I get $100 cash apps and super chats. It's not that I don't have $35. I'm not paying $35 for this black ass Bart. You get it? It's that simple. So, oh, PPC, they lost it all. They don't have no money. No, it's not they don't have money. They're not paying for the black Bart Simpson shirt. For nigga Bart. The nigga. Bro, they not playing that. Like, you know, when you go to the flea market and they got shirts that ain't real official, they got Gucci. That's Coochie. That is not Gucci. So I'm not paying full Gucci prices for Coochie. Bro, I'm not buying a Coochie bag for my girl. Y'all get the Coochie. It's at Gucci and y'all know what I'm talking. Y'all go to the flea markets and it say Gucci. It got 2 G's in it, and like, bro, so it's not that I can't spend $100. I'm not spending $100 on Gucci, on Gucci. Y'all do that. That's what y'all don't understand about this business. It's crazy. So it's not that, oh, they want to screw Bud and all that. It was not trying to screw Bud. Bob Arum told you all his numbers are trash. They not paying for the nigga Bart t-shirt. Deal with it. The black Bart Simpson. That's not official. Bro, I go like out in the Bay. Out in the Bay, we got the Golden State Warriors. We got my team, the San Francisco 49ers. The Warriors, my team too. And my other team, the San Francisco Giant. Listen, y'all pissing me off. Get my likes up. I'm cooking y'all. Right? I'm cooking y'all. Y'all got to get the likes up. Y'all got to get the likes up. Y'all got to get the likes up. Okay. So let's say the San Francisco Giants, Oracle Park, right? And I go to a game, and then they got dudes that legit look like, I'm telling you, out here where I'm from, in the Bay, in the yay. You go out to Frisco, you go to Oracle, right? Oracle Park, and you have people who are peddling Giants shirts that aren't licensed from the Giant. Okay, ask yourself this. If you ever went to a baseball game, why are they in front of the baseball game instead of having a shop or a store in the venue after you already went through, like the turnstiles or whatever? Because this is bootleg. Do you understand me? So when I went to the San Francisco Giants, you have the option to buy the bootleg shirt. It's not an official licensed product. There's dudes that literally look like crackheads. I got these cheeseburgers, and they got 50 shirts. And they like, oh yeah, $20. And they making money. But he looked like a crackhead. And he's selling Giant shirts. It's not, he just made those. He made those fake Giant shirts. If you want to get I bought some before. So if you want to get the bootleg shirt, you can. And then inside the venue, they have an actual Giants store, and you can get actual San Francisco Giants shirts. There's a difference. A lot of y'all don't understand the difference between like bootleg and official. So if you choose to, like, if they have the bootleg shirt and it's not official San Francisco 49ers memorabilia, it's not an actual jersey, it's not an actual shirt, it's some knockoff that someone's selling, and then they overprice it, then you're not going to buy it. And I'm not saying that Bud is a knockoff fighter, he's an actual fighter, but his metrics are down. His promoter told you that. So therefore, Errol Spence's metrics is up, comparatively speaking, to Bud. So he's like, I'm getting the lion's share. I got 3 belts. I did all the harder work. So you got to pay him. You have no choice. But when it comes to Bud, he want that. He want this treatment. You don't have 3 belts, sir. You have 1 belt from Jeff Horn, and he really didn't beat Pacquiao. So why would your market value be the same because you whoop ass? That's not how it works. But again, this is what I believe is Bud's team and his mentality, that because he beats people down and he's a great fighter, he thinks that just translates to you got to pay me like crazy. And Bob Arum alluded to all of this, everything that I'm talking about. And we all laughed. Oh, Bob, silly old man. Haha. Y'all want to sneak peek? Y'all been good to me. Y'all been good to me. Y'all want to sneak peek? My man DK, he sent $1 in the Cash App. He says, Arlington, Texas population is 392. See? So Arlington by itself is bigger than Omaha. Or bigger than Omaha. And you want me to blame them the same. I know what the problem is. Or the major problem. All right, sneak peek coming. Everybody want to be people pleasers, so they just say whatever. Oh, blame them equally. No. I got a full length video after this stream on this topic, but I'll give y'all the sneak peek. Fight Hype did an interview. Listen, this is where it's about to get real good. You believe that, you want to tell me that Bud Crawford is not the reason this is happening. That's what y'all telling me. All right. And you want me to tell, Steven Espinoza already said that they were single-mindedly focused on Bud. And you don't tell me that Bud wasn't like he wasn't vested the same. And I got proof of that. So without further ado, roll the clip. Fight Hype did an interview with David Avanesyan's manager who helped put this fight together. David Avanesyan, his manager. And he dropped a bombshell. Ain't nobody talking about this but me. I shook up the world. I'm the best when it comes to boxing. Listen to what he says. Roll the clip.
We're here. There's been talks before about Terence.
What was that? What was that, sir? Y'all didn't hear that? Who heard what he just said? Who heard what this man just said? David Avanesyan's own manager. If you heard it, say, I did. If you didn't hear it, say, God did. Say, I did or God did. If you didn't hear it, say, God did. If you heard it, say, I did. Sneak peek coming soon. Someone said, play it again. See, y'all not listening. All right, we got one person that heard it. I got to play it again. I got to play it again. God did. Shout out to Thomas. All right, listen. Y'all got to listen. David Avanesyan's manager. Roll the clip.
We're here. There's been talks before about Terence.
There has been talks before about Terence. This is David Avanesyan's manager. There have been talks before with Terence. You're taking it out of context, bro. You're an idiot because you can't even spell the word context. What does I'm taking it out of context? What does that even mean? Bro, you want to believe these jokers that can't spell, or y'all going to listen to Boxing Ego, then come to death row. He said you're taking it out of context. You don't even know the word context. So I know you're not on my level. Next. Who next? I played 2 seconds of the clip. He said, I'm taking out of content. That was just a teaser. Let me just keep going. He said, I'm taking out of contents. Like I'm reading a book, table of contents. I was just teasing y'all. Listen, I'm going to play the whole thing, and we're going to see who's taking it out of contents. Roll the clip.
We're here. There's been talks before about Terence. When our contract expired with Matchroom.
When our contract expired with Matchroom, he was with Eddie Hearn, David Avanesyan, beat Josh Kelly. Their contract expired. Listen.
I think Terence was with Top Rank.
I think Terence Crawford was with Top Rank at the time. Listen.
Top Rank. And there was preliminary talks there.
There were preliminary. He has an Irish accent. That's why you got to listen carefully. There were preliminary talks there.
And there was preliminary talks there. We'd accepted an offer then.
We accepted an offer then. And this is Errol Spence's fault. Don't see, Forensic Files ego is back. We accepted an offer then. He said, after we left Eddie Hearn, Queensberry Promotions picked us up, Frank Warren. I think Terence Crawford might have been with Top Rank, and we had preliminary talks to fight, and we accepted an offer then. Checkmate. Checkmate. This is David Avanesyan's manager revealing and dropping the bombshell on Fight Hype. And I'll get y'all the link. I'm doing a video, so the link will be in there. That he's already had a negotiations previously with Terence Crawford in the past, and they had an agreement. If I got him, I got him. Say, got him. Say, got him. And that's me taking it out of contents. Smash the like button. So you can't tell me Terence Crawford is single-mindedly focused. You went back, he just told you that we already had negotiations in the past with Terence Crawford to fight, and we agreed. And now, conveniently, when you're negotiating with Errol, you pull out and go a whole different route that nobody even expected with the same guy you previously had an agreement with at some point. And in the video, I break it down. You guys got to watch it because I try to track down and narrow down when it happened. I told you I'm a detective when it comes to this. Listen again from the top. Roll the clip.
We're here. There's been talks before about Terence.
There's been talks before about Terence.
When our contract expired with Matchroom.
When it expired with
Terence
Eddie.
was with top rank, and there was preliminary talks there. We'd accepted an offer then.
We accept preliminary talks. We accepted an offer then. So he said David Avanesyan has already been in a negotiation with Crawford in the past.
Talks there. We'd accepted an offer then. I've just got a funny feeling Terence likes the idea of David as a routine tick-over fight, which we're here to make sure it's not.
So Terence Crawford, this is what happens when y'all talk. When y'all talk, the more people talk, the more forensic files ego gonna pick up on. Bro, so he already told you at some point they've had the negotiations where they've agreed. But nobody knew about that. But he just revealed that's David Avanesyan's manager. That's his own manager said that. And he didn't say it like he's doing business with Crawford. So why would he try to get Crawford in trouble? He just talked. And the more you talk, listen, if you make a mistake, then you gotta pay. If you make a mistake with Boxing Ego, then you gotta pay. I'm Money Mayweather with this. I'm Big Money Ego with this. So you can't tell me that Crawford's sole focus was Errol Spence when you've already had talks with his team. He said when we left Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, and after we signed with Queensberry Promotions, Frank Warren, right? We've had talks with Crawford in the past. He didn't reveal what month or whatever. And he said we already had talks, preliminary talks, and we had agreed. He didn't explain, and then he switched the subject. But you already said you agreed. You already told us what I needed. You gave me what I needed, what Boxing Ego needed. So when was this point? When he says, I think he was with Top Rank and we had negotiations. And in the next video, I break down how it had to be within a certain range of time. All y'all got to do is listen to the words people tell you. Listen to the words people tell you. Because he said it was after. See, I'm giving away too much of the video. Make sure y'all come back for that video. It's airing tonight. It's airing tonight after this. I don't know how long we're going to do the live stream, so I can't give you an exact time. But it'll be up. The video is already done. Y'all got to get the likes up. So you've already been in negotiation with this team. See, he said it was after Eddie Hearn, and it was when we had Queensberry Promotions, David Avanesyan, right? Because he was with Eddie Hearn longer than he's been with Queensberry Promotions. Hint, hint. Hint, hint. So if he said it was after Eddie Hearn in Rematch Room, then it means it was after the Josh Kelly fight. It was after the Josh Kelly fight, which was last year. So sometime after the Josh Kelly fight, this block of time to present day, you already had preliminary talks with him to make a fight. He spilled the beans. It's over. You done slipped up now. Get my likes up. Fight Hype got a juicy one, I must tell you. So from this time to this time, he's already saying that you guys have been in touch with him at some point. When was it? How did he said, and we had agreed, and then he switched the subject. So he didn't expound or expand upon what he was saying. So you can't tell me Bud was all in with the Errol Spence. How is he all in? And at best, let's say it was he negotiated with David Avanesyan before the Porter fight, because it's only a certain window of when it can happen if you listen to what he said, right? So let's say he negotiated with Porter and Avanesyan, and then he ended up fighting Porter. That's still Bud's last fight. That's Bud's last fight. You've already been in touch with this team because he said it was after they had been with Frank Warren and Queensberry Promotions. This whole thing is a scam. Oh, this whole thing is bigger than Nino Brown and Boxing Ego, and I'm blowing the lid off it. So when I told you from the beginning, this whole story sounded fishy and something's not jiving and adding up, I told you I would get to the bottom of it, right? I was like, this whole thing don't sound weird. So it sounds like at the best, Bud was double dipping, and or you went to a comfort zone and you had already somehow, some way, you've already been in concert and in contact with these people, because the man just told you. He just told you we had another negotiations where we agreed. So when was this secret point? Especially since the whole world thought you were negotiating with Errol Spence since June. So at what point you were? So that's debatable, because he didn't actually say a point, but I know it has to be from this date to modern day, is somewhere in this window. Man, I told y'all, leave me alone. And see, the only people that get mad, the people don't want the truth. If you've been found out, you've been found out. You can't be mad at me. You can't be mad at me. You mad at me because you don't want to hear it. And I'm okay with that, because some people are, oh, I don't care. I'm in the support anyway. That's cool. You do what you do. But you've already dealt. He told you. And the funny thing is, how come when Boxing Ego busts y'all over the head to the white meat, how come it's like, I could understand if this was Errol Spence's people said this, because then you could say, oh, they're biased and they have a reason to lie. This is David Avanesyan's manager. So it's always from the least expecting suspects that give me the ammunition I need to blow y'all heads off with the fact. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, let me run that back. If it was like Errol Spence's team member said it, then you could be like, oh, they're just biased for Errol. This is coming from David Avanesyan's manager. He says we had already previously talked, and we had already previously agreed to a Terence Crawford fight at some point. But if you listen to the words that I just let you hear, then that stipulate. Listen.
We're here, there's been talks before about Terence.
There have been talks before about Terence. So that means a David Avanesyan and Terence Crawford fight. So you've had talks with him in the past.
When our contract expired with Matchroom.
There's been talks with Terence in the past when our contract expired with Matchroom. Josh Kelly knockout was last year in 2021 at the beginning of the year. I remember it. So that was a Matchroom fight. So it had to be after that based on this information.
Yeah, there's been talks before about Terence when our contract expired with Matchroom.
When our contract expired with Matchroom. And you tell me it's Errol's fault. I told you I was going to get to the bottom. I'm forensic file ego. You said it was all Errol. Wait till that video come out. Wait till the video come out. Because y'all want to get mad. Oh, Ego, you hate. Okay, we'll see. We'll see who got the receipts. I'm the king of the receipts. He said, when our contract expired with Matchroom, Josh Kelly, see, I do my homework. You fought Josh Kelly on a Matchroom. So David Avanesyan was still with Matchroom on a Matchroom card on February 20th, 2021. So it had to be after that date, because he just told you that. That's not me guessing. He says we already had conversations with Terence Crawford, and it was after our contract expired with Matchroom.
We're here, there's been talks before about Terence.
There's been talks before about Terence fighting David Avanesyan.
there's been talks before about Terence when our contract expired with Matchroom.
When our contract expired with Matchroom. Okay, great. He fought Josh Kelly. It was on a Matchroom card. That was February 20th. So February 2021. So it had to be after that because you just said that.
I think Terence was with Top Rank.
I think Terence Crawford was with Top Rank at the time.
And there was preliminary talks there.
We had preliminary talks there.
We'd accepted an offer then.
We accepted an offer. So so from February 2021, you had David Avanesyan and Crawford. When did they accept an offer? When were they given an offer? Right? Because it had to be after February 20th, 2021. Because you said it was after he had left Eddie Hearn, and you said it was after he left Matchroom. Wait till that video comes out. Because I'm just giving up the whole video. Because listen, y'all got to get my likes up. I told y'all I'll get a sneak peek. That's all y'all get. Because I want y'all to watch the video. So he already told on himself. He said, so I know from what you just said, from February 2021, so basically March of 2021, somewhere from March 2021 to October, you've already had negotiations with Terence Crawford previously, and then you accepted terms. So when was that? When did you negotiate? It has to be between those two dates because you just told me. Oh, damn. And then you tell me he was like fully vested. So you had a backup plan. You've already worked with these people before. He just told you. He said oh my God.
When our contract expired with Matchroom, I think Terence was with Top Rank, and there was preliminary talks there. We'd accepted an offer then.
We accepted an offer then. So when were y'all in negotiate? So you've already been in negotiations with Avanesyan at a separate occasion. That's all you need to know. So this trick up your sleeve, it sounds like it's been mapped out. It's mapped out. And then maybe you were in good faith at some point trying to make the Errol Spence fight. And then when they didn't budge on certain numbers or whatever, you found somebody who would pay you to fight David Avanesyan. And here's the thing, listen to this.
David is a routine tick over. David is a Terence likes. I've just got a funny feeling Terence likes the idea of David as a routine tick over fight.
I really have a funny feeling that Terence Crawford likes the David Avanesyan fight because he believes he's a routine tick over fight. So what is that? That's like UK Irish talk of saying, I think Terence Crawford likes the idea of David Avanesyan because he's a tune-up fight. That's basically what he's saying. So basically, Terence Crawford, so that's basically saying he's a cherry pick. He in this interview is basically saying that he thinks David Avanesyan has a chance and stuff. He's the manager. Of course he's going to say that. But he just told you, I think Terence Crawford thinks that David Avanesyan is sweet. That's basically in layman's terms what he just said. I think Terence Crawford likes this fight because we already seen Mean Machine beat the shit out of him. He's already lost to Lamont Peterson. So he thinks this is a routine tick-over fight. So guess what? Tune-up Terence wanted the tune-up, and there's no way, unless you could provide more evidence than I've been doing, there's no way you could present to me that it wasn't him who swerved first and crashed the Errol Spence fight.
The idea of David is for then. I've just got a funny feeling Terence likes the idea of David as a routine tick-over fight.
That routine tick-over fight is basically saying a tune-up. Terence Crawford doesn't believe that David Avanesyan can beat him. He thinks it's sweet, and he knows David Avanesyan is not on his level, or doesn't believe he's on his level. Maybe I should say it like that. He don't believe it's on his level. So as a result, that he thinks he likes it. But that's a bad look when the guy's own manager says he believes that Terence Crawford is taking this fight because he's underestimating him. That's basically what he's saying. He thinks that Crawford thinks this is going to be an easy opportunity. He does go on in this interview and say that, oh, you know, I think Avanesyan to shock people and all that. But he's saying in Crawford's mind, he truly believes that Crawford thinks it's going to be, he's underestimating his fighter. So, and that's the fighter's manager. See, the more you talk, the more I got to make you pay. And y'all out here blaming Errol. Oh, it's Errol's fault. Errol's business don't look fishy like this. Some unknown company just came out the woodwork, got 10 million for Bud, never did a fight of this magnitude. Again, you have no choice but to, like, here's an example. Shout out to Chris Fisher, $10. Okay.
The money goes into my piggy.
Ego shining that flashlight heavy on Bud. Bro, if y'all want the truth, you came to the right spot. And then what are the Bud buddies going to say? Oh, you hating? I didn't say that. David Avanesyan's manager just said that. You can't blame. See, that's how you know it's a distraction. It's like the Judas did to Jesus. They only here to cause distractions to Ego Veli. How are you going to be mad at me when David Avanesyan's manager just revealed that there was some point since being with Frank Warren that David Avanesyan and Crawford have already had conversations and an agreement and talks. So he didn't specify the date, but we know they've already come to terms at some other point. And for whatever reason, it never happened. So it definitely looks like Bud had an easy access to fight. And then the same manager says he basically believes Bud thinks that David Avanesyan is a tune-up. I mean, this looks crazy. And then Bud, and see, here's the other thing. Bud, he's like, this is why it hurts Bud so much. Because Bud is considered to be a great pound-for-pound fighter and a legacy fighter and has been on this voyage and this quest to say Errol Spence is ducking him. So this don't make you look good. This don't make you look good when you needed the tune-up. Block Jonathan Vasquez. Get him out of here. And then you went to a whole different situation. Again, I could respect it if you said, hey, these people at Black Prime, they got a bag for me. The Errol Spence fight is too important. I need a tune-up. I can't be out the ring that long. Okay, that's fine. It's how you went about it, bro. It seems like, see, some of y'all won't understand because y'all self-serving. If you're a self-serving mother effer, then you're not going to understand where I'm coming from. So the move is selfish. The whole world of boxing is banking on Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. It looked closer than ever. And you pull a self-serving, selfish move to fight because you're getting a bag. That's great for you that you're getting a bag, but the whole world is perceiving it as like, hey, we missed out. We missed out. And then to make matters worse, I told you I'm destroying them. That's why what I'm doing, I know what I'm doing. I'm destroying them. All the excuses y'all was making, I'm destroying all those excuses. In this same Fight Hype interview, it's actually a good interview, but the Fight Hype interview, right? This dude, David Avanesyan's manager, right? He literally says we had to cancel our November 19th fight and vacate the EBU belt because it doesn't make sense to fight on November. This is what he said, to fight November 19th and chance it, which is exactly what I said, to fight November 19th and then try to fight Bud. So we had to make a pick. I'm paraphrasing. He said, so we had to pick. We had to decide. And the Bud Crawford fight is a career high payday for us. We have no pay-per-view. We don't get none of the pay-per-view. All this is disclosed in this interview. I told you, see, there's no one greater than Boxing Ego in the whole world of boxing and in the history of boxing because I actually do my research so you don't have to. So he says all these things. He says, we don't have no back. We don't get no percentage of the back end, but this is just a hell of an opportunity. So we canceled the Frank Warren fight on November 19th because it's not worth it. He said it's not worth it because what if I get cut? Or what if David Avanesyan gets cut? What if he gets hurt? It doesn't make sense. So we had to pick one, and we picked Crawford because that's the better opportunity, and it's a title shot for a real title, right? The Bud buddies said, oh, even though Bud did this sneak move that no one knew about and is fighting David Avanesyan, in their brain, because they know it looks so bad, they're like, oh, but who cares? The fight with Errol wasn't until 2023 in February. But David Avanesyan's own manager just told you, you don't take a fight a month or 2 months before another major fight and chance it. He says this in this interview. You don't chance it. What if your fighter gets knocked out? What if your fighter gets cut? It's not worth the gamble. It's not worth the gamble. So Bud did the 42 fake out, like I said. It makes no sense to chance it. That's like, you ever been running late to work? You got to be at work at 6. If you're not on time, they're going to write you up or fire you. And then you see the Starbucks line and it's kind of long and it's 5:45. Are you going to stop at Starbucks knowing you can't be late and you got to be at work at 6 and then there's 4 cars ahead of you in Starbucks? You just decide like, hey, I can't do the Starbucks because I'm going to be late. You don't chance it. You don't chance these things. You got 15 more minutes to get to work. If you show up late, you're going to get fired or written up. Starbucks has 3-4 cars ahead of you. You're like, nah, I don't have time, because maybe if the line was empty, maybe I have time to stop and get a Starbucks. Maybe. And that's still pushing it. That's why you don't do these things. You don't fight in November, which is why they had to cancel that and give up the EBU belt for David Avanesyan for the bigger opportunity in their world against Crawford in December. Same way the Bud buddies are like, oh, but he did this and he can still fight in February. So he has no time to rest. What if he gets cut? You don't do that. And David Avanesyan's own manager said that. Check. Oh my, y'all getting destroyed, bro. Happy Tuesday evening, Ego. Appreciate you for years of content. You have given us many blessings. Thank you, Tyler. A Payne. He says, now the Bud buddies pushing for Errol to fight Boots. But all right, let me touch on that. So Bud can continue fighting the same echelon of competition that he's always been fighting at welterweight. But Errol got to fight Jerron Big Ass Boots Ennis. That seems fair. When Ennis called out both of them, to be real. Bro, this looks extremely bad. So Errol got a better resume. Errol got 3 belts at a younger age in this division. Errol's done bigger numbers and is the bigger star, but he got to fight Jerron Boots Ennis, and Terence Crawford can fight against David Avanesyan. Terence Crawford can fight Jose Benavidez after he got shot in the leg. Terence Crawford can fight Amir Khan with no chin. Terence Crawford could fight Jeff Horn, who really should have lost to Pacquiao. Mean Machine, who really should have lost his fight right before Crawford with Ray Robinson. He get to fight that, Sean Porter, 400 days on the layoff. But Errol got to keep doing heavy lifting and fighting Jerron Ennis. Make that make sense. But so just so you guys know, the WBO rankings, you got Virgil Ortiz number 1, you got Jerron Ennis number 2, and then you have Keith Thurman number 3, and then at number 6 you have David Avanesyan. So what are the odds, Patty? What are the odds? What are the odds that Crawford skipped 5 people, went to the 6th person, that 6th person's manager just confirmed to Fight Hype they've already had past negotiations and a past agreement to fight on this alleged date or whatever. And then he pulls out of the Errol Spence fight and runs right back to the people you've already had negotiations with at some point from 2021 to now. Damn, you're behind. Oh my gosh, bro. And then you're all like, oh, blame Errol. PBC did this. Oh, okay. Man, and see, this is the crazy part about it. There is nobody on God's green earth that is not only saying an opinion, but showing the people and letting the people hear it from the horse's mouth, right? You can't tell me I'm not the realest in the game, because there's other YouTubers, but a lot of it is just yelling or opinions. I'm giving you my opinion, but I'm contextualizing it and I'm letting you listen to people that have nothing to do. Like David Avanesyan, his manager is happy that he's getting paid and Avanesyan's getting paid and they got a WBO title shot. He has no reason to lie. He got what he wanted. He said it's a career high for David Avanesyan. So why would he be lying? Like I said, I can understand if you don't want to believe Steven Espinoza or somebody with the PBC, because that's PBC. You'll just, oh, they're biased, whatever. This is the guy that's working with him and put on this fight, or one of the parties. What did that say? Hold on. Bruh, you contradicted the hell out of yourself. You said Porter was on a 400+ day layoff, yet you want Bud to do the same thing against EJ. What? How did I contradict myself? What are you talking about? Bro, okay. Since you don't know what you're talking about, listen. So this is how stupid that y'all try to play the dawn of boxing. Listen to what he said. He said, I contradicted the hell out of myself because he said, because I said Porter was on a 400-day layoff. He was on a 400+ day layoff. But here's what you don't understand, because you're not on my level. Sean Porter was off of a 400-day layoff. I did say that because it's the truth. He was on like a 405-day layoff, if I'm not mistaken. Since y'all want to go against the Don, I did say that because it's the truth. But he said it's a contradiction. Guess what? Y'all want to see a dead body? Sean Porter was off a 400-day layoff. I did say that. I admit it. You got me because it was the truth. So I said it. But Sean Porter fought Terence Crawford. So is that a contradiction? Sean Porter was off of a layoff, but he still fought Terence Crawford. And you're like, oh, but you want Bud to be off of a long layoff. Bud's off a long layoff and he's not fighting Errol. So how is that the same? Oh my God, give me some better work. Bro, he said Sean Porter was factually off of a 400+ day layoff when he fought Bud Crawford. But Sean is a dog, so he actually still fought him off of that layoff. Terence ain't fighting Errol off of the layoff. I didn't say if it's good or bad. Like, there's a lot of guys that fight off layoffs. I'm giving you the facts. Sean, win, lose, or draw, was willing to fight off of the 400-day layoff against a guy as good as Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, you said, oh, yeah, I got you. You contradicted yourself because you want Terence to do it. Terence ain't doing it. Porter did. So how is that the same? Because Bud told you he still want to fight next. Now he switched to something else. Ain't that a bit? So after I just destroyed him, he switched to something else. He said, but we're not talking about that. You said it was a contradiction. Porter actually, long layoff or not, fought Crawford and got beat. He fought the world-class guy. So that shows you what Sean Porter of PBC at the time, it shows you his tenacity and his mindset. He still fought him. Terence Crawford is not fighting off of the 400-day layoff versus the fight we want, Errol Spence. So how is that the same? Get him out of here. Give me some better work. Y'all got to give me some better work. He tried to compare, he tried to make the same, but it's not the same because Porter actually did it. Porter fought the elite #1 pound for pound guy off of the layoff. Bud Crawford's fighting the non-pound for pound guy, Avanesyan, instead of the pound for pound guy, Errol, off of his layoff. And then since y'all want me to lose so bad, I can't lose. I keep winning. Errol Spence fought Danny off of a long layoff. Fought Kell Brook off a 9-month layoff. Said, I don't want no tune-ups. fought Ugas off of eye surgery. Danny Garcia off a long layoff and car wreck. Man, the Bud Buddies is down bad. And everything I just said was facts. So yeah, while you were trying to prove me wrong, you proved me right. That's how you know I'm the god of boxing talk. They try to prove me wrong and I just flip it on you. Like, I'm not going to take back that Sean Porter was off a 400-day layoff because he was off a 400-day layoff. I said that. That's facts. But he still fought the high-ranked welterweight champion despite that disposition. Bud Crawford is not fighting off of his layoff and disposition. Furthermore, why didn't Bud fight Avanesyan in January, February, March, April, or May? And then negotiate June to the rest of the year. So he could have fought the first 6 months against David Avanesyan and nobody would be tripping. But when you don't fight for the first 6 months of the year and then you negotiate for damn near 6 months and then you pull away and say, I'm fighting Avanesyan, now you see why people are mad. Oh my gosh, I'm slaughtering you. I make this look good. I make this look pretty. And notice the only people disagreeing are the people that choose to disagree because they not disagreeing with facts. They not bringing nothing to the table. It's a bunch of bums not bringing nothing to the potluck, and we all cooked. Get my likes up. So you try to prove me wrong, and you prove me right. Credit to Sean Porter. He's always down for a dogfight. Off a 400-day layoff, he didn't care. He was like, I'm still fighting Crawford. I'm the mentor. I'm still. So that just shows how rugged, ruggish bone Sean Porter is. Bud is not doing it. But Bud is ranked higher than Sean Porter was at that time. But Bud's not doing it. So you just made my point. Bud is considered number one pound for pound, and he's not willing to do something what Sean Porter, who wasn't a champion at that time, did, which is fight a tough fight off a layoff. Not willing. Bud is ranked higher on a lot of mainstream old media and just mainstream media pound for pound list than Errol. But he's not willing to fight a Danny Garcia caliber person off a car wreck. Okay, he don't have a car wreck, but off a long layoff. He's not willing to fight a Ugas off of a long layoff. You fighting David Avanesyan, so you just proved my point. Okay. I shook up the world. I told you it's going to get bloody. I told you this is Mayweather versus Gotti. These young boys can't beat me. I'm the best in the business. You can't outspeak me, and these young boys can't beat me. I'm the mouth from the West, and everything I said was facts. A-Pain said, tune up Bud, acting like Ryan Garcia, making a career off making his name off hard work. While he fights tune-ups in Ghana, Bud just exposed himself. Chris Fisher, $20, stay on their neck. That was going to be the fight of the year of the last 10 years. Absolutely.
The money goes into my piggy.
So, yeah, I mean, y'all, I know y'all want me to be wrong, but I'm oh so right. I know you want me to be wrong, but I'm oh so right. That was David Avanesyan's manager. I can't wait to drop this video, y'all. So when I say the optics look bad, I mean it. It looks bad. You could have fought in the first 6 months of the year for whatever reason you didn't. And notice the people that don't want to, the people, see, listen, that's like me personally. I can't speak for no one else, but me personally, imagine the person. And then when you at your house with them, they talking about, oh yeah, if we got in a fight, I would do this and this. And then you get to a club and people trying to jump you and then they run. You know what I'm saying? But at home, they was telling you all the things they would do if a fight broke out in the group. I can't trust the people like that. Me personally. How can I trust the people that said that they would fight and have my back, and then when the time came, they didn't fight and have my back and they ran? You see what I'm saying? And that's what we're seeing in boxing. There are people who slanted Canelo for fighting Yildirim, slanted DAZN for having streaming problems, slanted Canelo for fighting Yildirim and Pilgrim, slanted anybody else for Ryan Garcia for fighting Emmanuel Togos. I did that. I ain't too proud to bay. I wasn't a fan of Canelo Triple G3. I didn't think that's a pay-per-view quality fight in 2022. I didn't like the Ryan Garcia in the Ghana Pepper or whatever. The Ghana Pepper. I wasn't really a fan of that. You know what I'm saying? And there was a lot of people that was right there with me. But then when Bud do it, now I got to just shut up. That wouldn't be me. Now I got to shut up because it's Bud. So you didn't like Ryan Garcia and the Ghana Pepper. You don't like DAZN streaming and how the ESPN Plus app work and whatever else. And then we look at it on a case-by-case basis. But then now you love Crawford not fighting Errol Spence next. And now you love the David Avanesyan fight. And nobody really uttered his name since really Lamont Peterson or Josh Kelly. But now all of a sudden, y'all want me to fake it because y'all girls be faking their organisms. And now y'all want me to fake it and pretend like I love this move from Bud because it's Bud. And I respect him. And I've never disrespected him as a fighter and never said he can't scrap. But Bud has frequently said Errol Spence is ducking. His team acts like he's ducking. And has frequently said he's a legacy fighter. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You got to pick one, buddy. You got to pick one. So I look at it like this. If Bud said, I need a tune-up before I go into this major fight and they paying me a stupid bag, then I can at least respect that and respect your honesty. But if you spent all this time, Errol, where you at? I'm in the ocean looking for you. And then Tim Bradley was cheerleading, talking about PBC. Y'all boys is ducking Errol Spence and this guy's begging. And all the stuff, all the buildup that we all been getting hyped from. All the boxing legends in the world was picking against Errol. All of them. Like damn near all of them. Except for Hasim Rahman and a couple people. Kenny Porter and a couple people picked Errol. All the rest was picking Bud. And then you trying to act like you don't understand why fans is upset over the David Avanesyan. I mean, this is just pure insanity at this point. And then, like I said, because it's Bud and we love him and we like the way he fights and he got all knockouts. But here's the thing. If Errol fought the same guys, he might have all knockouts at welterweight. People bring up this stupid stuff. They say, oh, BOXINGEGO, Bud got all knockouts at welterweight. Errol don't got that, but Errol's fighting tougher competition. So that's generally the trade-off. That's usually the trade-off you get. You fight the tougher people. It's harder to knock them out. Mikey Garcia, nobody knocked him out, and he just retired. So nobody's going to knock him out unless he unretires. See how that works? Nobody did that. Sean Porter, to the point when Errol fought him, nobody had knocked him out, including Keith Thurman and Kell Brook. And he was an active fighter, not a podcaster. Nobody had knocked him out. They say, oh, but he didn't knock out whoever. Like, bro, who cares? Like, bro, Errol has done the heavier lifting. Errol's done the heavier lifting. It's that simple. So it's like, I mean, under the same circumstances, would Errol Spence lose to anybody that Crawford lost to? And I can't 100% say Crawford absolutely would lose under the same, if he fought the same years, the same people Errol Spence fought, but I know there'd be some harder fights. I know that much. I know it'd be a harder fight if he fought Ugas after the Pacquiao fight as opposed to David Avanesyan. I know that. So y'all can't play this game and have it too. Like if Bud just said, I need to tune up and I'm making all this money, F y'all, that's what I want. Then I can at least respect that because you went the money route. But you can't say I'm all about legacy and I'm the current Sugar Ray Leonard of my era and then not do the legacy route thing. And then you got to pay attention. See, I told you from the beginning of this, I never start anything, but I will finish it. And you won't tell me that it's raining. You peeing on my leg and you tell me it's raining. That's never going to work with me. I want anybody in the world of boxing to outsmart BOXINGEGO. They always say, oh, ego don't know. Ego don't. But I'm giving you facts-based information that you could take to the bank. And then you look at the patterns. It looks shaky for Bud, period. I don't care how much you love him. I don't care if you're a Nebraskan. That's what it looks like. Because here's the thing. Notice people's choice of words. Errol Spence has never, ever. I would give someone $1,500 right now if you produce a video of Errol Spence saying, I'm never going to fight Terence Crawford. $1,500 on $1,500 right now. He's never said that. The only thing he said was, if it don't happen now, it may never happen. Because he's like, why wouldn't it happen when he's a free agent? So if it don't happen, then that means they don't really want it. That's the only thing he said. Meanwhile, Bud Crawford, if I really took the time to comprise all the audio, Bud would sound schizophrenic. I can assure you, Bud Crawford would sound bipolar or schizophrenic because he says, I want 60-40. I want 50-50. Then he was interviewed by Akin Barak, and he's like, nah, 50-50 ain't good enough. I don't know. I don't know. It would literally sound like multiple people, multiple personalities if I played with Terence Crawford. You know what? Y'all want me to play something? Because y'all want to play with me, so let's play the game, spin the wheel. If I don't know what I'm talking about, let's play the game. If y'all want me to take it there, I could take it there. And it's all fact. Don't get in your emotions. Don't get in your feelings. Beat me with the facts. If y'all want this work, can I get a hell yeah in the comment section? I'll show you a contradiction right now because I got this on deck. Resistance is futile. It is futile to go against boxing ego. It is not in your best interest. Your health bar will be low because you can't out debate me. I know more. Oh my gosh, bro. Y'all want it? I'll show you a clear as day example. And the best Bud buddies can do is say like, oh, you bringing up an old interview. He still said it though. It don't matter if it's old, new. This is how he's behaved. What does that have to do with it? So why? Okay, so if somebody went to prison for 9 years for burglary and embezzlement, will you be like, oh, but that was 9 years ago? You still did it. They're still, if they do a background check on you, they're still going to bring that up. If you apply for a bank and they find out on your background check that you got fired from your last job and did a bid in prison for embezzlement and robbery and all that. But that was a long time ago. Yeah, but you're still gonna be held accountable for your actions, even if they happen in your past life. You know what I'm saying? Like even if they happened previous to now. What do you guys talk? Oh, but that was last year. He said that. He still said it, and then he changed his mind and said something else. What does that have to do with that? It was last year. Like it's a carton of milk. Meanwhile, speaking of carton of milk, Bud ain't posted about his fight. He's missing. That's a carton of milk. That's a bar. Listen, y'all want to talk about carton of milk? Bud getting 10 million and he missing, ain't posted. He on the carton of milk. You would think Bud and his fans would be happy. You beat the simulation. You getting 8 figures allegedly from a company nobody ever heard of, and you getting 8 million, 8 M's, more than Bob Arum done paid you for a fight that's worse than Bob Arum put out. Bud fans should be the happiest people on the planet, and you don't have to potentially lose your eyes or get your eyes melted up, because that's what Errol has the propensity to do, is bash people's eyes into their skull. So Bud fans should be like all around happy. Let me play this work. Listen.
Like I was saying, the boxing world, just sports fans in general, everyone is clamoring for a fight between you and Errol. They think you two are the best that there is. What do you want? What do you say, Terence?
Man, I've been saying it for I don't know what, a year and a half since I've been at 147. You know, it's crazy how everybody say, oh, well, he don't even have a title yet. And now that I got a title, now this.
Bro, that's a lie. He said everybody says he don't got a title yet. You got a title in your first fight. Who said that? How did PBC said, oh, he ain't got a title yet, if you moved up where you were undisputed, you had every single title. They can't. These young boys can't beat me. There's nobody that can outthink me. Bro, listen. He keeps this narrative flowing and going that PBC and people were making excuses not to fight him, saying, hey, you don't got a title. Get a title first. Who said that? How could anyone have said that if you were undisputed with every single belt at 140 and your first fight you moved up and fought Jeff Horn for the WBO and you beat his ass and you got the WBO? So at what point could anyone have said, get a belt first, Terence? And then you've maintained the same one WBO belt in every title defense because you're undefeated. So it makes no sense to keep saying this narrative. Oh, they was making excuses not to fight me. They was saying, get a belt, get a belt. No one said that. No one said that to you. How can anyone say get a belt and you have a belt? That doesn't even make sense. You had a belt your first fight versus Jeff Horn. And you want me to believe that people were holding you up. Oh, they was like, get a belt, get a belt. No one said that.
I've been saying it for I don't know what, a year and a half since I've been at 147. You know, it's crazy how everybody say, oh, well, he don't even have a title yet. And now that I got a title, now there's another excuse. So it seems like it's excuses after excuses after excuses. Now
you just made that excuse train up. Nobody said that because you had every title at 40, undisputed, and then you moved up and got a title immediately because the WBO is the top ranked belt anyway. That's why Shakur got a WBO and Terence, that's the top ranked belt. Everybody know the WBO got a good, great relationship with top rank. So you lied, bro. You just said that. Oh, everybody making all these excuses saying get a belt first. There was no time in that's like me saying to y'all, oh, everyone keeps saying Boxing Ego, get a channel, get a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel. Who would tell me to get a YouTube channel when I have a YouTube channel? That doesn't even make sense. If I got on this live stream and I was like, man, I keep getting complaints. People keep telling me to get a YouTube channel. They like, oh, Ego, start a YouTube channel. How can y'all tell me to start a YouTube channel when I already have a YouTube channel and we've been going for a minute? It makes no sense. But because it's Bud Crawford in Omaha, you guys want me to excuse it and then act like what he said made a whole lot of sense.
He's not worried about me. I honestly believe, you know, when it comes down to him, and deep down in his heart, he know what he's up against when he goes up against me.
Do you think he's protecting himself and protecting his record, protecting that zero, and that's why he doesn't want to step in there because he knows what type of fighter you are?
A little bit.
So this is what the PBC and Arrow haters want me to believe. He said a little bit. Do you think Arrow's protecting his record? How is Arrow protecting his record when he has a better one than you? Again, you guys are listening to the same. It's like we're all in an elevator and then somebody farted and it smells atrocious. It is actually putrid and everybody's in this small, cramped elevator. You know someone farted, but nobody wants to act like they smelled a fart. Listen to what people tell you and tell me it makes sense. Oh, everyone was like, oh, Crawford, get a belt, get a belt. That's impossible because you had every belt at 40 and then you had one belt that you've maintained in your first fight all the way till now. So there was how could PBC have said get a belt? It makes no sense. Then you said, oh yeah, they just kept making excuses. And you said Arrow's protecting his O. So he's protecting his O by getting in a vicious car wreck and coming back when people are saying, hey, take a tune-up. Take a tune-up. I wouldn't fight Danny Garcia off of a car wreck. And then Arrow's like, man, I don't care. Man down, man down. That's a guy. That sounds like a guy that's protecting his O. A guy who's going to flip his car, hit asphalt, knock his teeth out, deal with all the repercussions and financial things he has to probably take care of, buy a new whip, wait for his permanent teeth to set in and all this stuff, physical therapy, and come back and fight a top 5 Danny Garcia. That sounds like the man that's protecting his O. Off a layoff. And then get his eye bashed up or whatever happened, have a detached retina, and then fight Ugas, who looks sensational, versus Manny Pacquiao and dominating him, pushing him to retirement and exhibitions, had another layoff. These are potentially career-ending things. And he came back and fought Ugas, who looked huge at the weigh-in. And everyone's like, look at Ugas's bicep. It's bigger than Errol. And Errol didn't care, fought him at home. Whereas, what if Ugas would have won? That's embarrassing when you lose at home. You see what I'm saying? And this is the guy that Crawford wants me to believe is protecting his O. Not the guy fighting Amir Khan, who has no chin. And he was 2 fights removed from Canelo knocking him out unconscious with his eyes open. Not the guy that's fighting Mean Machine, a guy who was coming off a Ray Robinson performance that he actually lost, if you watched the fight, and they lied and said it was a draw. So it really shouldn't have even, Ray Robinson should truly be, and Ray Robinson beat Crawford in the amateurs. Ray Robinson truly should have been Crawford's mandatory, to be honest, if you know your boxing, right? Not the guy that's fighting David Avanesyan when the whole world thought you was fighting Errol next. That guy's not trying to protect his O. The guy coming off Rex and detached retinas fighting top guys with 3 belts and all harder names when he fought them. That's the guy protecting their record. This is what the boxing world wants the king of boxing to believe. That's like, I'm an ice cream man and this guy's a fireman, right? Listen, if I was an ice cream man, I chose that as my profession. And this guy's a firefighter. He's a fireman. And the ice cream man is talking to the firefighter. No disrespect to any ice cream men that watch my channel. This is just an analogy. If I was an ice cream man and I'm barking and screaming and talking bad about the firefighter, telling the fireman that he's scared. He's entering buildings on a daily basis, 4-alarm fires, and going to the top floor of a 3rd-story building, taking the little children and a cat and a pet out, the firefighter. And the ice cream man is telling the firefighter he's scary. In what world does that make sense? The most danger, if you're an ice cream man, you got to watch the road, watch for kids and stuff. So there's maybe some danger. You dig? But there's no way the ice cream man can challenge the fireman and the firefighter and say that he don't got heart. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that Crawford don't have heart, because I do think he has heart. But what I'm saying is, it sounds crazy to suggest that one guy with the better everything and better resume is the guy who's protecting his O.
And that's why he doesn't want to step in there, because he knows what type of fighter you are?
A little bit that has something to do with it a little bit, but at the same time, I just think, like, you know, he thinking the big picture. Like, if I take a chance like this, I need to be getting paid as much money as possible, just in case if I lose.
Crawford said, Errol is thinking the big picture. I need to make the most amount of money just in case I lose. It sounds like he's talking about himself. Everything he's saying sounds like he's projecting and he's throwing it on Errol. Listen what he said. He said, Errol is thinking about the big picture. I need to cash out and make the most amount of money just on the event that I lose. But then you're fighting on BLK Prime for allegedly 8 figures with the David Avanesyan instead of the fight that everybody wants. So, you know, it's like sometimes people, like, they project, you know what I mean? It's just a human nature, if you will. You know, where somebody, they're like, I get angry fans and be, oh, Ego, you're broke. I ain't said one word about money. I ain't complained about my bill. Where'd you get that from? It's because they broke. You look at their bank account. They be like, oh, Box Ego, you so ugly. You can't get no women. Come on, bro. They say Boxing Ego can't get no women. Like, you know what I mean? It's just sometimes people project. You know what I mean? You just came out and randomly said that. Okay, get the likes up.
You know, he's talking about he want to fight this guy and fight this guy, so he's going to be the A side. You know, he don't want a 50-50 fight. Well, that just lets you know right now he's not 100% confident in his own abilities.
This man previously said that Errol Spence said he's the A side and he don't want a 50-50 fight, which means he's not confident in his abilities. Listen to the man's logic, people.
You know, he can say what he want. The casual fans can say what they want. But me, you know, if I'm confident in my abilities, I'm like, okay, we can do it. You know, it don't matter if it's 50-50 or not.
He said, but me, if I'm confident in my abilities, we can do it. It doesn't matter if it's 50-50 or not. Bro, Crawford, Bud Buddies, Crawford's an amazing fighter, but you lose. He just told you this. I'm playing it for you. Yes, it's an older interview from a year or two ago. No, actually, it was after Sean Porter fight. It was after Errol fought Sean Porter. So it's 2019 he said this. Bro, he just told you, hey, y'all better get the lights up. He just said, I don't care if it's 50-50. Bro, and then, oh my gosh, bro. I'm telling you, this is too, if I play all these Crawford clips, you would be like, what the heck? It's going to sound like multiple personalities. It's going to sound like multiple people are talking. And you're going to be like, what? And see, the most disrespectful thing that y'all could do is, like, I know some people like, oh, you stupid YouTubers, you don't know. But I can't speak for every YouTuber. I can't. I really can't. I can't speak for every YouTuber. But what I can tell you is this. I do my job and I gets busy. You know what I'm saying? I do my job and I gets busy. So the worst thing you could do, because I live these moments in real time. I know fighters. I've been to the fights. I've been in the locker rooms. I've been on the scene. I've been behind the scene. You can't pull one over on me because I've been in the game too long. The man just said, oh, me, that shows Errol Spence ain't confident, because if it was me, and then he talked the talk, and then he said, I don't care if it's 50-50, that shows Errol's not confident, because me, I don't, listen.
The casual fans can say what they want, but me, you know, if I'm confident in my abilities, I'm like, okay, we can do it. You know, it don't matter if it's 50-50 or not.
It don't matter if it's 50-50 or not. Bud makes this too easy for me. Listen, as great of a fighter as Bud is, he leaves a lot of openings in his defense with the statements he makes. He just said it. I'm going to play it one more time.
In my abilities, I'm like, okay, fans can say what they want, but me, you know, if I'm confident in my abilities, I'm like, okay, we can do it. You know, it don't matter if it's 50-50 or not.
It don't matter if it's 50-50 or not, but now the Bud Crawford fans in 2022 are saying, oh, PBC lowballed him. They only offered him 35%. He just said he don't care if it's 50-50 or not. He just previously said this too. I told you this, I'm the greatest. Listen, I'm the greatest that's ever lived. Crawford previously said, Crawford on the Spence fight, if it ain't 60-40 in my favor, the fight won't happen. This is what your boy Bud said. So you can get mad at Ego for presenting the facts, or you can just bow down and admit what I'm saying. It's hypocritical. Previously, you said you don't care if it's 50-50 or not. Then you said, oh man, on the Errol fight, if it ain't 60-40 with me making more money, then the fight won't happen. You said this. You said this. Not Ego. Oh, Ego, you hating and all this other stuff y'all be talking about. You said this. Hold Terence Crawford accountable for what he said. Just like you hold me accountable. If I get a fight prediction wrong, or if I made an announcement and it was wrong, then I have to be held accountable. And y'all would say, hey, you announced that fight and you said it was 100% done and it's not. And I got to eat that. This is what Crawford said. You said, Errol Spence is not confident. This is what you pitched. Errol Spence is not confident because if he was, he wouldn't care about that A-side type of stuff. If it was me, I know that I'll win any fight, so I don't care about 50-50. But then you also said it got to be 60-40, which makes no effing sense since you've done all lower numbers than him. And you tell me this is not, you can see, I told y'all for years, you could see the problem before it happened with that mindset. If you think you're going to get 60-40 at any point of your career versus a guy who's doing better, has more belts, and has been branded better. Bob Arum did an interview with Fight Hype today, and he just said PBC did a great job branding Errol. He said that. Your old promoter said that. And he also said Terence Crawford can't sit. So just the fact that this article ever existed shows me it's a level of delusion and pride, and the pride comes before the fall. Crawford says if he fights Spence, if it ain't 60-40, because there was no point in time where you would have ever gotten 60-40 over him. Let me see when he said that. The article is from 2020. So this is after Errol unified. So Errol, by November 2020, Errol already had 2 belts because he fought Sean Porter. I was there in 2019. You see how this is working. This is why it's not looking good for Bud. So Errol already had 2020. In 2020, he already had 2 belts, and he had already fought Sean Porter and unified. You only had 1 belt that you carried from the Jeff Horn fight, and he shouldn't have beaten Pacquiao. And the fact that you said that at any point, it wouldn't have made sense. And now it especially doesn't make sense because Errol picked up another belt and did more numbers with the likes of Danny Garcia since that point in December 2020, and then the Ugas fight earlier this year, and did 39,000 or whatever he did with Ugas and beat the hell out of him. So you see what it is. Now I see why PBC can't pay him. This is what Bob Arum was alluding to. I told you if I play these Bud clips, y'all be like, damn, he sounds all over the place.
Fans can say what they want, but me, if I'm confident in my abilities, I'm like, okay, we can do it. It don't matter if it's 50-50 or not. I know I'm gonna win, so I don't have nothing to lose.
I don't have nothing to lose. I don't care if it's 50-50 or not. Roll the clip.
All in all, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, and all those guys.
If Spence and them came to you with a 50-50 and said, come on, let's just make that fight, obviously you'll still fight, correct?
I don't know, to be honest.
What?
Why is that, bud?
Bro, I mean, how many ways do I have to torture you at this point? How many more ways do I have to torture you? That's the only question I have. How many more ways you want it? He was asked a direct question on Aka Barak show. If PBC Errol Spence offered you 50-50, would you take it? I don't know.
If Spence and them came to you with a 50-50 and said, come on, let's just make that fight, obviously you'll still fight, correct?
I don't know, to be honest.
What?
Why is that, bud?
Because I'm past that.
Because I'm past that. But you previously said Errol Spence, he's not confident because he's talking about A-side and 50-50.
Not 100% confident. He can say what he wants. The casual fans can say what they want. But me, if I'm confident in my ability, I'm like, okay, we can do it. It don't matter if it's 50 or not. I know I'm gonna win, so I don't have nothing to lose.
I don't care if it's 50-50 or not. I know I'm going to win. I have nothing to lose. Don't care if it's 50-50 or not.
If Spence and them came to you with a 50-50 and said, come on, let's just make that fight, obviously you'll still fight, correct?
I don't know, to be honest.
What?
Why is that, bud?
Because I'm past that. It's
I mean, like I said, how many more ways you want to torture? And then he does a weird move by pulling out and saying, hey, I'm fighting Avanesyan, surprise. I mean, this was all ordained, bro. This is all ordained. I guarantee you nobody in boxing, all you fans, there's more of y'all than there is me. There's nobody in here that's going to find no previous video. I got There's more videos that because I work. You can say whatever you want about me. I work. I got 8,000 plus videos or whatever I've ever done in my career, right? You will not be able to find in that 8,000 plus catalog contradictions such as that in all of my work. And I'm sure of that. Where I'm saying like Chocolatito's #1 pound for pound. Oh, I don't think Chocolatito's #1 pound for pound. Or I think George Kambosos beats Devin Haney. And then I switch and say, oh, I don't think Devin Haney, he's not going to lose. You're not going to find it. I never thought Chocolatito was #1 pound for pound. I never thought Devin Haney would lose to George Kambosos. So there's no other variation of it. I never thought Mikey Garcia was going to beat Errol Spence. So you will not find a video of me saying, oh, I think Mikey's going to whoop Errol, because I never believed that. You won't find a video of me saying, I think Pacquiao is going to whoop Mayweather, because I never believed that. So my virtue, my character, my integrity speaks for itself. That's why I'm well paid and respected. Because you're not going to find no, oh, I'll take 50-50. No, I won't. Like, you're not going to find that. But you find that with Bud Crawford. So imagine having to do business with someone like this and dealing with someone like this and someone who is not realistic in their market value, we'll say. I mean, it spells a train wreck before it happens. That's why he's fighting David Avanesyan on BLK Prime, because they're willing to foot the bill and lose money, which likely they will if it all goes well. You know what I'm saying? Or not goes well, but if it happens, if he's put it this way, if Bud is truly getting 10 million and David Avanesyan's trainer told Fight Hype that he's getting a record high payday. So if they're paying some good money to David, the event, I don't see how it's profitable. Because put it this way, and this is why a lot of you guys are fake and I'm destroying y'all. I'm destroying all the fakeness in boxing. I'm the Punisher. I'm Frank Castle. Hand over heart, let's play Swear to God. If y'all want to play Swear to God, type Swear to God in the chat. I'll prove once and for all that I keep the same energy. I'm the realest out. If y'all want to play Swear to God, put Swear to God or STG if you don't want to type that word. Watch this. Watch this. Swear to God, all y'all got to do is tell the truth. Tell the truth. Don't lie to me. Swear to God, and I'm going to ask the question. Don't lie. This will show if Eagles Army's the realest. We're playing Swear to God. Swear to God that if Bob Arum in Top Rank announced Crawford versus David Avanesyan, what would your first impressions be of the fight? Listen again. If Terence Crawford was still with Top Rank, swear to God, and then Bob Arum put out the flyer, and then he says Crawford's fighting against David Avanesyan, what would you say about the fight? What would your first impression be? Why? It's BS. Keep going. Laughing my butt off. Another nobody. Give me your honest reaction. Why? Okay. So, no matter who the promoter is, the fight is the same. So, I don't care if it's Top Rank, if PBC put out the fight, if, actually, I'll take it back. If PBC put out the fight, I wouldn't be tripping because that would be an introductory fight if Bud, needed to tune up, as long as he could, like what Andre Ward did. You know what I'm saying? How Andre Ward said, I did a new deal with HBO. I'm fighting Sullivan Barrera, and I'm fighting Alexander Brand, and then we knew it was going to be Kovalev. So if they did an arrangement like that, I wouldn't be tripping. But if ESPN Plus said, hey, Bud's fighting Avanesyan, no one would really probably be excited like that. So people have this this energy and angst towards Bud. I mean, towards Bob Arum. They're like, oh, Bob Arum. But now all of a sudden people are trying to pump fake like they really love Bud's choice. So how does Bud's choice change because it's not on Top Rank or not on ESPN? So it's not against Black Prime. It's the fight that Bud selected and the terms and how you went about it. That's the big issue. If Bud was fighting on ESPN Plus still, or whatever, ESPN, and it was David Avanesyan, you wouldn't be like, oh, he's getting 8 figures. So now the fight is automatically, but this is what the Bud Buddies is telling me. This is what the Bud Buddies is telling me. They telling me because Crawford made out like a bandit and is allegedly getting 10 million that I have to love the fight. So to me, that's not being real. That's not being real. If Bob Arum announced the fight, I would say the same thing. So you guys tell me. You tell me that I'm not the most consistent. It don't matter who announced the fight. Like, I wouldn't like Canelo Golovkin 3 under the same terms on PBC. That's not the fight that I want. But again, the boxing games went soft. And then y'all trying to, it's like I said, somebody feeds you some uncooked chicken and then you like, oh, I like it now. Bro, I don't like uncooked chicken. I mean, maybe I'm too stern for the boxing game. But I don't care who's cooking. If my mama cooked, my mom would never do that. Love your mom. But no matter who cooks it, I don't like unseasoned, uncooked chicken. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like, oh, I hate Crawford or hate BLK Prime it don't matter where the unseasoned chicken is coming from. It's just not my deal. And I look at boxing on a case-by-case basis, and my mind is not blown by this choice of fight, especially in lieu of Errol Spence fight. King Corleone said, I don't care if The Rock was cooking it. Facts. Facts. And then, my final thoughts is this. Is like the other thing that's extremely weird is just the circumstance. Why is Bud not posting it? How did Broner sign to Black Prime? Congratulations to him. How did he sign to Black Prime? And so basically Broner signed after and did more promotion than Bud has done. But then you said Bob Arum was lying and Bud's a great promoter. I'll look again so I don't have to eat my words. Has Bud promoted this fight? And you guys just want me to be this echo chamber of saying, oh, what y'all want me to say? I'm not doing that, bro. Broner has done more promotion, just the fact that he showed up and said hi, than Bud. Bud is getting 10 milli in one fight, and the fight is rapidly approaching, and I have not seen anything from Bud. Look, I'm on this page right now. Look. So don't let them distract you from what this is actually about. Like, why? See, and that's how you know that. Listen, that's why it smelled fishy. If imagine Floyd fighting Canelo when they fought, right? Why would Floyd hide the fact that he's fighting Canelo? Nobody hated the fight. The co-main had Danny Garcia, Lucas Matisse. That was like one of the greatest cards. That was like truly one of the greatest pay-per-views that I ever remember getting. Canelo versus Mayweather and Danny Garcia, Lucas Matisse at that time at 140 for the support. One of the greatest boxing cards that I remember buying, right? So why would Danny Garcia hide the fact that he's fighting Lucas Matisse? Why would Floyd Mayweather or Canelo not amp up the fact that they're fighting each other? But Bud Crawford is taking all this money from a startup company, and they're saying he's getting this bread, and he's not even going to put it on his stories. He's not going to say like, yo, I'm fighting Avanesyan. And then you're telling me that PBC should have gave him a monstrous guarantee instead of the deal that they probably had set up where he gets a good guarantee based on his numbers and then a percentage of the back end. And then based on the success of the event, they'll be able to divvy out more. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's how, okay, they put the fight on BoxRec, then they removed it. Like, what is going on? What's the undercard? Again, if somebody farts in the elevator and then you want me to pretend like I don't smell it, and so you basically want me to be fake. Unsubscribe now. Unsubscribe right now. That's what y'all want. He said the chief operator is a principal of a school. See, I mean, so who's doing the car? Billy Madison? Like, what are we talking about? So if something looks sketch to you, you just pretend it don't look sketch and like hope for the best and throw a Hail Mary. Like the whole setup looks weird. Like how does Broner get announced before Bud is willing to make a statement? That's not weird to you. So Bud joined on with Black Prime before Broner. His fight got announced before anybody knew anything about Broner. Yet Broner has already posted Black Prime and you know, showed face. Bob Arum said Bud doesn't promote. Does he look inaccurate? And see, this is the thing, is like the fight is already, it just seems very haphazard, disorganized, and you're in a race versus time. Like $40, right? They're like, you know, $40, I clearly can afford it. But my thing is this, is like, Bud, people want me to give Bud a pass because it's Bud. Like, oh, it's Bud, so just pay $40, but he don't have to do nothing he don't even have to tell. So just in y'all world, give me $40, but Bud don't even have to tell me he's fighting. But I got to give Bud my money. Wilder don't do that. Wilder don't just not post, not put out no music videos, not post a flyer, not tap in with people, not go on the Pivot podcast and, you know, Funny Marco show and just say bye bye fight. Like there's an obligation that comes with elite stardom. It's not just like, hey, so Floyd is bigger than Crawford, and Floyd didn't do this. So surprise, Bud Crawford, especially if you're on a startup app, you should really try to help them. You should help them grow to make it bankable so they can be around. Not like hybrid. So to me, it just looked weird. It looks like you don't want to do, you know, them comments going to come for you. That's what it appears to me. I don't know. But it seems like you don't even want to deal with it because so you took the money and run, you get the luxury of the 8 figures or whatever. Cool. But then you don't want to, like, is that in the contract? Like you didn't, there's no contractual promotional obligations. The deal is just for Bud to show up and train and show up on fight week, make weight, and try to knock Avanesyan head off. He don't got to do nothing else. I mean, it's just weird. It's weird. It's weird that he hasn't like so much as post. I don't know. Maybe they're working behind the scenes and trying to get it. But it's weird that Broner got announced before Bud has even said anything. And then again, now you can see with the back and forth statements and the erratic, you know, 50-50. Oh, I don't need 50-50. That shows you're confident. Oh, I need 60-40. All this type of stuff. It appears very hard to keep up with. That's why I told you from the beginning. I smell it. There's never been an Errol Spence fight that has taken this long to get off the ground. Ugas didn't take 6 minutes of public. 6 months of like public back and forth. And bro, I'll just keep putting out the content. Hopefully you guys like it. I'm glad you bring receipts. I mean, I'm the king of the receipts. The last thing I'll say is this. Smash the like button. Like just all of it sounds, we'll have to see how this all plays out. But this could explode in Bud's face. I'm just being so real with you. Cause that's all I know. And then like, if you mad at me for being real, then I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Unsubscribe from my channel. Bud said, I agreed to all of their BS. That's what he said. Not ego. He said that. I agreed to all of their, so PBC, all of Errol Spence's BS. All of PBC's BS. I agreed to all of it. That's what he said. But then weeks later, an article from the same people, ESPN, came out and it said he's not agreeing because there's a lack of money flow transparency with the expenses. How can two different things be identical? How can two things exist simultaneously that are polar opposites? If you're doing a GPS and you're driving, like let's say I'm driving to Oakland, it's going to tell me to make a right or a left. It can't tell me both at the same time. That don't make sense. But that's what y'all telling me. If you're using Waze map, you're using GPS, and you're trying to get to a restaurant in Oakland, it's going to say make a right or make a left. It's not going to be like make a left. That's both. Like how am I supposed to make a right and a left at the same time? Think. Bud said he agreed, but then he wasn't satisfied with portions of the contract. Then how did you agree? Do you see what I'm saying? All this stuff seems fishy. So far be it. Like I'm not just going for the okie doke. I'm not just going for the okie doke just because you want me to play along with it and it looked weird to me. I agreed, but then truthfully I didn't agree because I wasn't happy with this. Because his team has left comments on my posts and stuff. They're like, oh, 35% and all that. I'm like, 35%? Like, it's all crazy, bro. And then they're like, oh, PBC was playing and like all types of stuff like that. Shout out to Daquandre. He sent $1 in the Cash App. He said, keep cooking, ego. Team members of Bud have said stuff like that. PBC was playing with the money and how do we know the money's real? This type of attitude. So how do you know the money's real with a startup company? So that's how I know this don't add up. The story don't add up. No matter how much you try to, I listen. No matter how much you cycle it back, it don't add up. If you were truly intent on fighting Errol Spence, and then you like made a quick detour to the Avanesyan thing, there's too many holes in the story. It's Swiss cheese. Y'all telling me a Swiss cheese story and telling me it's provolone. Listen, you telling me a Swiss cheese story, but then you're telling me it's provolone. I know the difference between provolone and Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese got all them holes in it. Bud's story, I agreed, but then I'm mad about the expenses. Then you didn't agree. People are like, oh yeah, he agreed and he's ready to go. The ball's in the arrows court. Showtime saying something different. But then no matter if you believe that or not, it's clear as day that you didn't agree because we don't have a fight. And just so you know, this how A-side dealing would work. Al Heyman would talk to the A-side person that's been with PBC, Errol Spence, and get his side straight before he would even reach out to Bud Crawford anyway. He would already have Errol Spence like pretty much tucked away with on board. You see what I'm saying? That's how it works. Like if Canelo's fighting Caleb Smith, Canelo, you have to satisfy him because he's the A side. So the A side is the person where you have to see what Canelo needs to make this happen. Caleb Smith, he's a like kind of an afterthought, not to be rude, but you know, kind of an afterthought. you have to like you would have to tuck Canelo and make sure he's comfortable in bed before you do that to your dog. You know what I'm saying? You would tuck your daughter in the bed or your son in the bed before your dog. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a rough analogy. But the A side, they're not going to send you a contract if the A side is not pretty much squared away. So he's like, I agreed to all they bull-ish. Arrow was nowhere to be found. Arrow wouldn't sign and all that. Bro, they usually take care of the A side first and get the A side on board. So the only person they got to deal with is typically the B side. Now, if the B side starts saying, oh, I need this and this and this, and then that's where the complexities come. Because it's like, I want this added. Now you got to go back to the A side and say, oh, he wants this. So to make that happen, we got to cut some out of your money or, you know what I'm saying? That's how it works. It's a back and forth, but that I don't know. I don't want to go too deep into like the business side of things. But it's so much. I got a video coming out, and it's going to surprise a lot of y'all. So make sure you guys check that. It'll be up in the next 45 minutes on the channel, and it's proof from David Avanesyan's manager that Bud Crawford had already at some point previously agreed to fight them.
We're here, you know. There's been talks before about Terence. When our contract expired with Matchroom, I think Terence was with Top Rank at Top Rank, and there was preliminary talks there. We'd accepted an offer then. I've just got a funny feeling Terence likes.
So he told you, he gave you the game, bro. There had already been a point to which these teams have worked, and he says David Avanesyan at whatever point this is that he's talking about, David Avanesyan's side has already agreed to fight Terence Crawford in the past. And I was able to narrow it down based on what he said. The video coming soon. You know, 50 Cent got a good quote. He said, 50 Cent got a quote, and he said something to the effect that, like, he said, my grandfather said, if you think it's a snake, it look like a snake, does it got to bite you first? It's something like that. I have to look up the actual quote, but it's dope from 50 Cent. He was talking about how his grandfather gave him the game with that analogy, and it says, like, okay, it rattles like a snake, it looks like a snake. What does it take? Is it got to bite you first for you to believe it's a snake? You know what I'm saying? Like, so if someone pulled a snake move, they pulled a snake move. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. It's like, what y'all got to get bit? Y'all got to get bit to realize it? And he said that when he was talking about his son. He said, if it rattles like, he said, my grandfather said, if it rattles like a snake, if it slithers like a snake, is it a snake or do you need to be bit first? You see what I'm saying? So it's like Bud been dropping clues that he was going to be problematic to deal with, especially regards to Arrow. And I think it's some deep rooted stuff. I really do. Cause I listen, I got to conserve my voice. So I'm going to just end it on this, but I think it's some deep rooted stuff with Bud. Like Bud was undisputed at 40. If he were to lose this fight, then Errol Spence will be the man and have accomplished at 147 what he did at 140. So that would be a bad loss for a 35-year-old Bud. You see what I'm saying? That would be a bad loss because it's like, damn, you try to get undisputed. Because you have to keep in mind, Bud said he wanted to beat Errol up and then go fight Charlo for undisputed at 54. So that's all out the window. You know what I'm saying? Unless you can get him in the rematch, but it won't matter because you won't be undefeated. You know what I'm saying? You will have taken a loss, so you won't be undefeated and undisputed. So I think there's some deep-rooted stuff. I also think Bud looks at PBC as ops and really don't work with them. And it really seems like Bud has more comfort in Caucasian males over some, like, I don't know, minorities or Al Heyman, he seems more trustworthy. And he seemed like he'll rather just take his ball and go home type of attitude. You see what I'm saying? Like all the kids is playing dodgeball and stuff, but then because you got scored out in the dodgeball game and it's your ball, you take your ball and go home. So it ruins the game. Nobody else can play no more because you got knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Because while he was over there with Top Rank, you stayed over there with Top Rank. That was your choice. You know what I mean? But you stayed over with Top Rank and you couldn't get any of the big fights. And like now I feel like Bud is entering negotiations with animosity and entering negotiations like with this vendetta, like, oh, they stalled me out. And so now he don't care, like vindictive almost. I mean, Sean Porter on his podcast literally just said that Bud Crawford is the most stubborn boxer. And he said Bud Crawford is probably the most stubborn athlete he's ever met or something like that. You can't, that's bad business. You can't, either you want to do business with people or not, but you can't enter in bad faith and like waste people's time and enter with like rage and animosity. Either you're willing to work with the people or you're not. So I think, me personally, I think Bud has some bad habits like that. Like he wants like Sean Porter said, he's a stubborn person or whatever. And he's like, wants things to be perfectly his way, even though it doesn't make sense business wise, because of you spent so much time with Top Rank, you weren't getting the big fights, daddy. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't getting the all-star fights and killer resume. You weren't unifying. Your numbers don't match up. So it's like, it is never going to be that. So it's like, I hate to put, envy or jealousy, because I can't really tell you what's in somebody's heart. But those types of things, like, I'm not saying he's jealous of Errol as a human, but just jealous because Errol's fan base is loving the Ugas performance and he's selling out 50,000. Because you listen to what his team says. They was like, oh, 50,000, them were Mikey fans. That's not true. I was at the fight. I didn't see Crawford at that fight. He didn't say that, by the way, but it was Team Crawford. They were saying like, oh, they was all Mikey fan. That's not true. I have footage of it. And see, this is how I know, because I was there. People think not all boxing fans are the same. You know what I'm saying? Not just because you're Mexican don't mean you're rooting for the Mexican. Some Mexican fight fans are like that, where they are rooting for the Mexican fighter over the American fighter, right? But not everybody is like that. Because when I was at Errol Spence fight, see, Crawford's man said this. He was like, oh, them 50,000 was because of Mikey. No, they weren't. Because you're assuming they was from Mikey because Texas has a big Hispanic population. But I'll have you know, there were Mexican people. I was there. Mexican people rocking EJ shirts. A lot. So you're assuming. I was there, you assuming. I have footage, you assuming. Errol Spence got Mexican fans in Texas. I don't know about in LA, how many Mexicans and all these other places, but in Texas, I don't know. Tex-Mexicans be different. Whatever. The Errol Spence had people ride with him. They wasn't all, because you Latino, you was riding with Mikey. I promise you, I was there. You know what I'm saying? In LA, that might be different. You know what I'm saying? Like if Errol fought Mikey in LA, he might have some different energy in the crowd. I don't know. Each region could be different. But I was there in Texas, and there was black people for Errol shirts and white people and Asians and all types of Mexicans. People assume that Latinos was just all against Errol. But in the venue, I didn't see that. I seen a healthy crowd, and it was a mixed crowd. There were Mikey Garcia fans for sure. For sure, but it wasn't just like everybody was rocking with Mikey. I promise you. Because his team, his street team or whatever, was selling Errol Spence shirts, and there's hella man down and strap season shirts and all that type of stuff. And if you look at, like, see, y'all don't understand, Texas is big. Like, y'all ain't never left the stoop, so I'm just giving y'all extra game. Bro, it's different. This ain't LA, and I'm from Cali, so I know how it is. You know what I'm saying? in Texas, you'll see like Mexican rappers and they be real cool with the black rappers in Texas. I mean, I can't speak on all parts and all I'm not from Texas, but from what I've seen, like you'll see like Texas rappers and they be part of their cliques be Mexican. It's different. Man, come on, bro. Y'all don't know this. So Errol got a big base, and it seems like Crawford kind of resents that. And Errol's from a bigger state than Nebraska. It's just facts. Look, my man DJ Fabio, I rock Errol Spence strap season merch every time I go to the gym. See, I'm telling you, Texas is a bit different. Texas, I don't know what it is about, but Texas is a little bit different. I could vouch. I could vouch for the stuff I've seen. Again, I can't tell you, I'm not from Texas, so I can't tell you every little like nook and cranny. I don't know. I don't know how Texas runs in general, but I've been out there enough time. I've been out there enough time to know how it is. Like you look at people like Yellow Beezy or something. He might, his videographer might be Mexican. Or you look at Errol Spence when he getting a tattoo. His tattooist might be Mexican. You see what I mean? It's different. Man, come on. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Ram Bud out of Dallas. Nah, y'all petty. Well, time to shake the game up. The video will come after this. Give it about 30 minutes and the video's up so y'all can see what's going on. Hopefully you guys enjoy the stream. Support the channel, scan the QR code, and I'm out.